Hey, everybody. How y'all doing tonight?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, wow. Apparently you're a little tired.
I'm always tired.
It's real EP hours up in here.
Ain't that the truth?
Light caffeine.
The party last left off. They were in the tail end of the Querax for the last year. It is now time for the 6th Querac. The day of feasts and the day of, well, merriment and getting together and having a bit of a jolly old time. They're currently taking rest at the edge in Bartiza.
And for some, a day of not getting on Bishaba's bad side.
Indeed. For the magic users, it's still a bit of a gloomy time as their mana storm that is currently in the form of a mana choke is a fair bit prevalent, and the lightning strikes are still causing sprouts wherever they go. But it's starting to die down as the peak of the Queric's magic is drawing to a close. The party has woken up and is downstairs eating breakfast. It is a day where breakfast is free and of exceptional veracity is expected. The day of peace, after all.
Well, won't allow myself to be the last in line. Now is this buffet style, or do we order it like normal?
Pretty much just he is constantly making food and just keeps putting it out.
Oh, fantastic. I don't know if they have, like, waffles, pancakes, breakfast, pastry.
They probably have some degree of, flat pastry.
Fantastic.
Simple to make.
I am availing myself of the fecundity.
Where it lies on the crepe to waffle to pancake spectrum is up to personal interpretation.
It's interesting. Instead of having like little pockets like a waffle, there's just holes.
Oh, I think there might have been a problem with the pan.
It's
While I'm eating breakfast, just like kind of absent-mindedly, I am going to wiggle my fingers and try to cast a little cantrip, see if anything happens.
You can sort of feel as the energy swirls around your fingers, and as it moves to leave your body, it just fizzles out immediately into the ether.
I give a big sigh, and take a drink of water. Okay. More of this, I see. What is everyone else doing during this bountiful breakfast?
Hero is likely going to sit opposite you with his own plate and start just slowly picking away at the offerings.
Tefrit has loaded up on all sorts of carbohydrates.
That reminds me, once this is all said and done, we should buy as many rations as can be carried. Not necessarily by the mules. I have magics that can assist in carrying enough supplies. It just, we don't know how long we're going to be out when we travel to our new destination.
Right. Don't want to be caught, well, out and about with nothing to support ourselves.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's not really a good time.
So, while it will impede my ability to keep watch or other similar things, I would propose that we buy as much as we can.
I wouldn't worry too much about keeping watch. We've got this, right? And he is kind of pointing with his fork towards a friend of Mithril. I don't know where he's sitting in this tavern, but
Standing
you look
ominously in the
around-
doorway.
As you're looking around to see where he is, in addition to seeing that he doesn't really have anything else to eat, you also notice that one of your companions is strangely absent, as Rat is nowhere to be seen.
I don't know that Kaya would have noticed that.
Only based.
Assumes that he's off doing something nefarious.
He's
or
doing rat
mean-spirited.
things.
Yeah, true.
Exactly. He's building a clock or something.
Grix.
And our friends see him from the doorway.
Nope. Grix brings over a rather large platter of something that's pretty similar to a pig, and it puts it right in front of Friend. This is just for you. And walks away.
Looks up at him, and before he gets a chance to say something, he is already gone.
Yeah, Grix and the bartender, which is Grargate. Grargate Fire Brew are both very busy today as they are cooking up as quick as they can.
The what is essentially a pig roast kind of wobbles in front of you on the table until out of like the back of it caves in a little bit of space and Rat's head pokes out of it, looks around, and then dips back in.
Do the rest of us see that?
I would assume so.
I would assume primarily Tefred and Kaya would, considering the orientation
The
at
roast.
which it was placed.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, sorry, let me move Rat onto the table where he pokes his head out of the roast and then goes back in.
Kaya would like falls backwards a little bit.
May I do a check to see if I notice him or not?
You notice him.
Oh no, before that, before he popped out.
Oh, sure. I guess.
Sure. Okay. What is that? Perception?
I'd give it an investigation.
Investigation? Perfect.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Because you did say, I wonder where he is.
Yeah.
You do see just before he pops out, you see there's a little bit of wiggling on the pig. Your food
It's
is
not
not
supposed to- Oh, hi,
move.
Rat.
He
I know,
just
I was
kind of
I was worried it wasn't dead yet.
side eyes you, but he always side eyes because his eyes aren't front facing because he's crocodilian.
Lizard.
And dips his head back under. But you could tell it was a side eye.
What exactly are you doing inside of that?
I think he's eating.
Muffled from inside.
There's an expression of complete disgust on Kaya's face. Okay. Okay. He takes a seat again.
A little bit of meat has splattered on top of your whole cakes.
I just gingerly pick it up with 2 fingers and drop it to the side.
Like what, on the floor?
No, just like not on my plate, but on the table next to my plate. Just like pluck, drop. And I will continue eating. I'm like very clearly kind of why?
The sounds of
This is
Rat's
a-
jaw is very noticeable, as there's a very distinct click when it goes between an open and closed state.
BMJ.
And then roughly every, like, I don't know, minute or so, you can hear the very notable sounds of the internal bones just snapping in half.
Probably good marrow.
What he's focusing on.
Well, Okay, it's the day of feasts. Sure, feast on. And he just kind of gestures with one hand, just kind of waving dismissively on all that.
Never underestimate the taste of a good roast, Kyle.
From the inside?
That's where the good parts are.
Oh,
What? I, for my part, intend to remain here for most of the day at least. We have thus far had somewhat good luck, and I intend not to squander it by drawing the mistress's ire. If you will excuse me.
I'm watching to see where he goes.
Here is going back up to the room.
Oh, well, very well.
He intends to spend most of the day studying, swapping out a cantrip, and otherwise not doing anything that could turn into a horrible streak of bad luck.
Is it still thundering outside, or
Yes,
whatever?
it is, but it's much gentler now.
Brenda's gonna move from the doorway and go out onto the back open area.
You see as
Okay.
an area on the right side glows a little bit. Before chang, it strikes again.
How elevated is the back porch area?
Very, very high. Like probably
there's a
like
good vantage
200
point of-
feet.
So there's a good vantage point of like most of the city.
Not the city. It's on the edge of the city, literally on the cliff side. That the majority of the city is on an elevated cliff face. You sort of walk up along an edge, and on the left side where the river is carved out a massive gap, and this is overlooking the entirety of like a wide open, mostly barren expanses on the left side of, I guess I shouldn't say left. On the west side of the river, the grass ends up being a lot less fertile, so it's kind of just open plains and fields.
Gotcha. I see.
That's why the bar gets its name, The Edge, is because that balcony is literally over the edge.
I love it so much.
Did Kaio say that he joined Hiroi?
I didn't. I thought. I don't think so. I was just kind of trying to keep an eye on what he was doing. But I will, I think, if he doesn't seem like he's trying to be alone.
Not necessarily trying to be alone, just trying to lead a particularly boring day today.
No, then I will not be doing that. It sounds particularly boring. I think I will actually join Friend in looking over the edge. It's a particular thing of beauty. And I'd also like to kind of take a look out at the rest of the people here at the edge. I think I recognize some of the folks at this table. What else do I see here? What's going on?
A bunch of other regular civilians. There's a small group of adventurers at this table who are clearly pretty similarly armed as you guys are. Bunch of merchants out on the edge as well, who are eating up to their heart's content, as most people are. It's a very busy morning.
Very nice, very nice. I'm assuming there's nobody here that seems particularly well off.
If there is,
considered well off. I was saying we could be considered well off. It's not like we're all in rags.
It's true. That's true. Okay, yeah, I'll just join you looking out over the edge. Well, this was odd, but nothing we can't survive, right?
The weather, you mean?
Yes.
Odd, yes, but apparently not dangerous.
Right, you were struck by whatever's going on here. How are you feeling?
Normal.
Oh. He looks at it disappointed when you say that. I guess that's fine. Just expecting something
But it
more.
is odd.
That you would survive a bolt of lightning? Yes, I would say that it is quite odd.
No. That I feel normal after.
He's trying to make sense of what you're saying. Do you mean normal for you, or normal? Then he just kind of vaguely gestures.
I'm not sure.
Hmm. We've left the tinies to their breakfast.
I'm cheering on Rat as he's going for the throat.
I don't know how he can eat so much. He's going to have a stomachache after this. I just know it.
He's obliterating this thing. He spends the better part of the entire day working on it.
Ugh.
He's gonna be fucking like greased up.
this will be
He's
the
just being
only good
greased up.
meal he's gotten.
Since when?
Since
Since the time he shot a deer. Or something, I don't know. I won't tell him what his character's accomplishments
no, I mean
were.
it's probably something like that. The last time he's probably eaten like this is just like a day that he like did something good, joined out with hunting and like shot something and like they were like, whoa! So he ate it all.
All in all, it's a
Something like-
very relaxed kind of day compared to many of the previous quirks. It's one where you're supposed to spend time with friends and family, so good times are had. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to commit to the day?
Not for the day, no.
Then the day passes, and we are on to the final quirk. The mages begin to feel a little bit of life returning to their magic. The cantrip tests end up yielding results, which is good, but any spells still fail to initialize. Today is the day of gifts and givings. A fun time, Gon's Day, a day for really cementing who is a friend above the rest.
Hmm.
Well, that should be easy.
I'd like to say that it is very difficult to find Kaio on this day, but you find other things instead. Just little pranks here and there. That's his gift to you. Little surprises that you find.
Oh, that's not gonna happen. I'm spending at least an hour tracking his ass down.
You find him hiding, like, outside of a building that you guys are spending time in. And it looks like because now that he has cantrips again, he's trying to, like, levitate a bucket of water.
Kaio!
The bucket falls and splashes water onto the ground. He brushes himself off and says, "Oh, wow, what are you doing here?"
I was looking for you. I was looking all over for you. I kept finding these weird little things. Like there was some sand in my pillow. Weird.
Well, you know,
Anyway.
magical phenomenon and such things.
Oh, that was my guess too. I mean, they had a screaming wind the other day. I'm sure sandy pillows are no far stretch of the imagination.
Right. I've read about that in books. Sandy pillows during the Querix. It's yes.
Really, you have to lend those to me sometime.
Oh, I don't own books.
Well, anyway, I wanted to thank you for traveling with us, and I'm going to take out from my pocket a leather strap with a bead of sea glass on it.
Oh no, it's so pretty.
I know you serve Umberly, and I know we're far from the sea, so I thought we could bring a little bit of the sea to you.
That is. Can I ask you to make an insight check?
I would love to. I'm beaming. Oh, wrong character sheet. Molly will not be making the insight check today.
No.
Unfortunate. Well, that's
You
pretty
can't
funny.
roll once.
No, can't roll once.
Halfling, baby.
He says, "That's very kind of you. Thank you."
Mhm.
There's no display of deeper emotion than that. Just, oh, thank you.
Damn, even with a 22?
Maybe
Man's
the
a
22
liar.
is what?
My
We'll
man's
have to think of some way to repay this.
Oh, of course. No, not at all. Today's the day of gifts.
Mhm.
Gifts don't need to be repaid.
I will not ask you to make an insight check for this one.
Mhm.
He does not seem to agree with it.
Mm.
It's very much doubt. He tucks it into his pocket. But again, thank you.
Of course.
A very generous gift.
And I'm going to. I'm now on the hunt.
Ah.
I am now looking for every single party member. I would like to end with Friend of Mithril.
Did Kaio do anything to mildly irritate Rat? Or did Kaio have restraint surrounding Rat?
You know, no. He would not have restraint.
Umberly sees you slightly as a coward. And you
Who?
would know that.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's important to me that I commit to the bit, even if that means I get shot by a kobold. What I probably
Think
would have
about the
done,
funny.
what I probably would have done
What
is
he's
collect
doing.
a bunch of like bullet-sized rocks, and somehow, maybe with my mage hand, switched your bullets for rocks and stored the bullets in like a cabinet up high,
No,
someplace safe.
And joke's on you, the
But
bullets
just
he's
like-
using are already stone steel.
Holy based. Yeah.
And he's just, doing this very quietly, very subtly, and just kind of grinning to himself internally, waiting for you to notice that these are not my bullets. What happened to my gun?
Yeah, so basically, Rat is neurotic about maintaining things, so he will be moving around, remember, oh, I need to upkeep this. So he'll move over to where he's got his firearm stored, grab it, pick it up, start taking it apart, decide that this isn't where he wants to do, stands up, touches the bag, lifts it up like a quarter of an inch off the ground, feels that the weight is vastly different, drops his gun, rips the bag open, and throws it against the wall. As he's like
he scream?
snarling. He's pretty loudly snarling.
Good thing
Maybe I'll
Kyle's
find
not
Heroway
nearby.
next.
Fantastic. Could I Jim, I'm sorry for prompting so many rolls, but can I ask
Please,
Rat to
go
make
ahead,
a
ask him.
perception roll?
Rat is not perceptive.
Oh, good.
His ass
I'm
is
not-
not perceiving.
He just doesn't
Listen,
know.
when he investigates, he finds shit, but if he's just passively, like, perceiving something, it's a coin flip on whether he will or won't.
It's
Which he
the
probably
ADHD
won't.
experience, honestly.
Yeah. Anyone that was around Kyle when the snarling begins will hear him just kind of laughing to himself softly. He seems very, very pleased.
Rat looks around for Hiroe.
You know he's downstairs because he's probably enjoying his tea, I would assume.
For him, it is actually the day of the feast. So, even though they're not offering free meals anymore, he is paying for a nice, lavish breakfast.
Considering the barman saw your restraint yesterday, he would probably let you go through with it if you communicated. So the only question is, would it be worth your, I can't call it pride, would you say, hey, for me it's this day? Or does that feel like something
Yeah.
that ruins it? Okay, then yeah, he'd just give it to you.
Many thanks.
Yay for religious
appreciate-
tolerance.
I greatly appreciate the consideration.
We got folks coming from all over, lad, and ain't no reason to tell any of them they're wrong. You least of all, with how much you're doing.
Thank you.
Slap, 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 slap of feet rapidly coming across the stairs as Rat leaps down the stairs, doesn't even take the first flight, just
Just weaving in between the supports that hold up the armrest and just diving through them to cut the entire curve of the stairs.
rockets in and headbutts Hiroe's chair leg at full speed.
Which Hero had already started standing up because he heard the slap of feet coming down the stairs.
Oh, if your legs are down, then he's hitting your leg. As you hits your leg, looks up, goes, "Where?
Where is?
Where? Rock replace bullet. Where?"
Whoops, wrong one.
I don't know. Have you? I don't know. Have you checked anyone else's bags?
He grumbles and starts running back up the stairs.
Hero takes these blessed few moments reprieve to take a few bites.
And when he gets back upstairs into the rooms, he actually just the first bag of someone else's that he sees, he starts going through.
Roll me a d4.
I'm
got
sorry,
it,
this
Mom.
is so satisfying.
What is friend's bag like?
Does friend have a...
Um,
I guess he must.
I don't know. Let's find out together. It's got his tools, some crystal shards, and it has the earth veil, and it probably still has the large branch sticking out, not fully able to be in the bag. That's to say, crap. There's crap in the bag.
The size of the bag probably means Rat fits into it. So he's in the bag rifling through it.
Probably his tail sticking out.
Yeah, his tail's really long, so yeah, probably.
Yeah.
As he's like a cat in a bag where bumps
Yeah.
come up every now and then. When he doesn't find anything, he backs his way out because his tail is sticking out and goes on to the next bag he can find. Which
Ether.
is
Tefred's.
starts running towards Tefred's bag next as he rips it open and starts looking in.
He would find a very odd shield and mask with red metal embedded in it.
He's just looking in it, doesn't see what he wants, dumps it out all the way to see if he missed anything. Like a toddler
yes.
with a Lego bin.
A giant chunk of sulfur drops out.
Rat tilts his head, completely loses track of what he was doing, and looks at the sulfur and gets interested in it for a second. Then shakes himself out of it, pulls himself away, and starts running to the next one.
Enchantment checks or enchantment saving throw succeeded. Heroes, man, really going down the whole list.
He's like rummaging through Hero Ways. He's looking through it, stops for a second, is about to dump it all the way out, and then realizes Hero is the one who told him to look through bags. So he probably doesn't have it. So instead he goes through it aggressively without dumping it out.
In which case, you would find some spare pipeweed, the vial of cat's love that we found a while back, some various things like a pen and some ink, some parchment, his spellbook, and the actual armor that Hiroi wears when we're out of town.
Total disinterest. He looks at the weed for a second, the pipe weed for a second, thinks about it because it reminds him of the moss. He's about to put it into his mouth, and then he loses track again and beelines for the last bag, Kaio's bag.
Oh boy. So it looks very boring. I mean, if you're scent motivated, there are some very interesting scents because he does have incense, an old prayer book, something from Blubberby. You would not care about it at all.
You probably couldn't even read it.
No, probably not. It's like in I think a mix of Celestial and Primordial, Aquan specifically. It's a mess in there.
Read common.
It's one of those things where, like, it's not Latin, it's whatever. His armor is around as well, but the bullets are not there.
He is just, like, spinning around in circles, basically almost chasing his tail anxiously, like, looking around.
Hiroi
So you
was
don't-
wrong again, as usual.
As
Scratch
usual.
marks down in his head.
You don't have the bag with you, right? Where the bullets should be?
No. They are on the ground, like, next to his, or no, they are on the wall after having been thrown with, like, 17 of the, like, 20 whatever he has just rolled out on the ground like marbles that have been spilled.
But what I would like to do while he's running around tearing things apart is very quietly, very subtly grab the bullets from where I stowed them in that cabinet and then put them back in the bag with my invisible
you're
hand.
an evil fucker. Oh my god.
So how do you present yourself since you kind of have to have visibility for it?
Oh yeah, so the cabinet is... I think it would be on a different floor. I'm not sure, did he throw the bag in the room upstairs?
Area. Yeah.
Oh, see, that's a problem. I thought it was down here still.
No.
Everybody's stuff is in the upstairs room.
Insta-reacted to it. He's upstairs right now, like...
I might have to wait a little bit then. I don't want him to... I'm willing to play the long con.
Yeah, he's pacing around in a circle very rapidly, honestly. Kind of looking around as he does so. Until eventually he gets tired and sits down. And kind of just stares around. He's gonna realize that he's panicking, get up, and start actually looking. Instead of, like, panic looking.
So the second that you're not there anymore, I would start initiating that plan, just, you know, very quietly, oh, nothing to see. Just kind of walking around. The bag is, like, above me on the ceiling.
Yeah, he probably walks back over to where the bag was, picks them up, doesn't put the new one, the ones that rolled out, the rocks, it back into the bag, but he does move back over and put the bag next to his rifle. Kind of pick the rifle up off the ground where he dropped it when he initially reacted. Make sure nothing broke when he dropped it, and then goes back downstairs. This time a little more calm, still very angry, but like not in a frenzy. To talk to Hiroi about how wrong he is.
Mr. GM, rules adjudicator, do you think that it would be possible to pull this trick off, or do you think it is too difficult?
I think it would be possible, especially
Huh.
since Red is going to be downstairs and you could go upstairs.
I do so, and then I go back downstairs. And I'm not going to say anything, but I am going to go sit next to the edge here. I'm assuming they're like down there doing something. I'm just looking out. I have a, eye line and earshot. That's all they want.
Rat begins
They weren't in the bags,
bitching
were
to
they?
Hir- Sorry, go ahead.
Hero was just saying they weren't in the bags, were they?
He climbs up onto the table, like is stomping, gets up onto the table, looks you in the face. Wrong!
It was just a first guess. Here, give me a moment to have another bite, then I will join you in looking again.
Some steel take can't just walk away and rock replace intent.
He's just like 1,000 yards staring you as you eat, waiting for you to quote unquote take another bite.
Alright, Hero does so without hurrying or dallying, and stands up from the table once again. Alright. Let's head up, and hopefully we'll be able to find them.
He mounts up.
At this rate, we need to get Rat the mounted combatant feet.
Yes, but also it's not going to be very doable for him to ever fire that weapon on anyone except for
Yeah.
Friend when he's large.
Yeah. It would be real funny, though.
It would make you deaf.
Yeah. It would be real funny, though.
Rat riding a familiar into battle.
As you're walking upstairs, Kaio is walking downstairs and goes over to the edge.
Hmm.
You cross each other on the stairs.
He kind of shakes your shoulder that he's hanging out to.
Go, go.
Right? I'm going. So once I get upstairs, Hero is going to start to rifling through the cupboards and such, various compartments that may not have actually been in reach of Rat, that sort of thing. And given that Kyle was just heading downstairs, I can't imagine Hero is going to find them.
No. With any luck, they are back in the bag now.
Mhm.
They are.
Oh, you might find a bag of rocks, actually. I would have done a switcheroo.
As Hero is looking through one of the cupboards, he finds a suspiciously familiar-looking bag, pulls it out of the cupboard, and presents it to Rat, saying, "Is this it?"
He nods a couple of times, holds his hand out, feels the weight of it when it gets handed to him, and drops it onto your foot, presumably.
No.
I'm assuming this is audible again.
Yeah, he very loudly says this no.
Oh god!
Fantastic. Okay.
He scurries back down, starts looking around, and sees the old bag that he put away, and runs back to it, and picks it up, and then puts it down, and then picks it up, and then puts it down, and then picks it up, stares at it, and like shuts down for a second. And it's
Oh,
just
we
staring at
love
the wall.
gaslighting. we love gaslighting in here.
We do a little bit of manipulation.
I offer a short prayer to Umberlee and say, I hope you appreciate my gift to you.
Io was absolutely a trickery domain cleric, not a Tempest domain.
Yeah. Well, you know, one of those gets proficiency in heavy armor and the other one doesn't, so...
One of those is
Yeah.
good.
Hey, they are buffing trickery pretty hard. But unfortunately, all subclasses are at 3 for some fucking reason.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah. Anyway.
He spends about 30 more minutes picking up the bag, putting it down, taking out an individual one, picking it up, putting it down, and just like looking at his hands, looking at the bag, picking it up, putting it down. Like he's thoroughly confused.
For the rest of the day, Kaio is just so, like, content. He's so pleased.
That's abnormal. Kaio's never happy.
No, I'm good.
With that said and done, Hiro is going to be favoring his foot slightly as he heads back downstairs to finish the last little bit of his meal.
Speaking of happy, how does the rest of Tefrid's journeys go?
Yes, the next person he's going to find is Hiroway.
You find him kind of favoring his right foot as he's finishing the last couple bites of his breakfast.
Hi, Hiroway. I hope I'm not bothering you.
Not at all. Is everything all right?
Oh no, everything's fine. I just wanted to. He's gonna reach out and he's going to give you a book. I was wandering around and I found this and I wanted to give it to you for the cleric.
Oh, many thanks.
Now, I don't really know. I'm not really good at knowing what people are studying, so I just went with my gut and I bought the one in Draconic. I don't know what it says.
Oh, thank you. I will take a look. It's gonna be the fucking lusty Argonian maid, isn't it?
I have zero fucking clue. I actually have no clue. Mr.
Lusty
GM?
Argonian maid.
I will
Mr.
not
GM?
be.
100 it?
I won't.
Can we D100 it?
I will not be the arbiter of this.
I told you I didn't know what it was.
D100 on a 69 or a 1, it's the book.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's see if it's the lusty Argonian maid or the equivalent.
Oh my god!
Oh, so fucking close.
That's damn close.
Damn.
It's the trusty Argonian aid instead.
Ah, I see.
Trusty Dragonborn aid or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking, like, courtroom drama or some shit.
It's actually Game 2 of Phoenix Wright.
Oh, true.
It's specifically Game 2. You have to read the fucking, you gotta read, the clown trial. I know too much about that. Just wanted to give that to you. Hopefully it's useful.
Thank you. I don't suppose you've seen Friend around, have you?
No, I'm gonna be looking for him later.
Word to the wise. Give Rat a little bit of space today. He went through a bit of a harrowing experience just a little bit ago. One which I'm still feeling the repercussions of.
I think I know exactly what'll cheer him up.
Just be careful.
I'm gonna go find Rat.
He's upstairs.
Hey, Rat. Oh, why is my stuff everywhere? Oh, that's very valuable. Hold on, he's gonna scramble to put the mask and shield back in the bag, and he's looking. Rat, what's going on?
He's still in his little corner of the room, picking up and putting down the bag, looking at each individual bullet, and he turns around.
What?
Oh, I'm gonna pick up the big chunk of sulfur off the floor, and I'm gonna walk it over to him. Today's the day of gifting for the Querix, so I wanted to get you something, and I found this. I thought you might find some kind of use for it. It smells rancid, but I've heard it's very valuable for alchemists.
He's kind of just looking at you and then at it.
Why?
Because you're my traveling friend.
You take ball, you take move, bullet. You try buy, forgive.
What? What? No! What bullets?
Forgive, give.
As he holds his hand out,
Yes, I give you the
he
sulfur.
takes it. He carefully puts it down and then starts like chasing your legs, like
No try buy, give.
What? I don't know what happened. I imagine that goes on for a little while.
yeah. He's kind of just like angrily chasing you around, thinking you're trying to buy his forgiveness, removing his things.
I warned you.
You're dead.
He's got a lot of energy from yesterday, a lot of calories to burn.
He ain't enough to hibernate. We're in trouble.
If he was a true Saurid, he would just not have to eat for another month.
I mean, here's the thing, that the rations he eat are always averaged. So
Oh, true.
if you do eat, 20 of them every 2 weeks, doesn't really matter if most of them are over 2 days.
Honestly, true, and that fits in better to our. We started the Bastion turn in the town, so flavor change. That's what he does.
And last
About,
but certainly not least. Go ahead,
Alright.
if you want, Rat.
It's just about 15 minutes go by where he's just like angrily running at you, like scratching you and like
It sounds
pushing
like
your
a Tom
legs.
and Jerry cartoon upstairs.
Yeah, basically.
Hiroi, Friend, and Kaio can almost certainly discern the commotion upstairs.
I'm going to go and grab my bag so that my belongings aren't caught in the crossfire.
My guy, the bed's on the ceiling at this point. We're in trouble.
Yeah, your bag's
enter
definitely
the-
knocked over at this point. Like things are laying out of it, but they weren't dumped out. Like
You enter the room and you see as Red is throwing some of these stone bullets at Tefred. And Tefred's dodging most of them, but one of them hits him pretty squarely in the chest that knocks a bit of the wind out of him.
Why is that so heavy? Heavy enough is problem.
as he throws another and misses.
It collides squarely with the wall behind, going plunk.
Make sure not to damage the walls. We will have to pay for any damages.
You are not registering in his brain.
Wait, you were right.
I know.
Not I know.
You know-
The
you know
infamous
what?
I know.
I might be able to help a little bit.
What the?
How much health does Rat have?
42.
God damn it.
I have 39. That would have been
Uh,
really
also,
funny.
That wouldn't go off anyway.
Right, fuck. Never mind. he tries to cast it, but then remembers. Right.
Your puny magics will not save you.
Poor move. Anyway, after the most confusing half hour of Tefred's life,
And that's saying something.
that's really saying something.
Rhett gets tired and bored, and I assume Hero is still in the room, points at him and goes,
Thief!
I don't know what's going on here, man.
Hero is just going to calmly walk across the room, pick up his bag, walk back across the room, and head downstairs.
he's just like watches him as he leaves and ignores him, and like gets really frustrated and just like curls up in the corner of the room.
Okay, that's done. Where's friend?
You go down and you explore around. Where is friend?
He is still out at the balcony.
Is it still thunder? Is there still a lightning storm out today?
Yes, it is very
still
faint at this point.
Okay. Hey, friend.
Hello.
This is a nice spot.
It is.
So, you know, today is the day of gift giving for the Querax.
I do.
I've got something for you, but it's outside the city.
I see.
If you'd like to accompany me, I would very, very much to show it to you.
I've been wanting to get out of the city.
I figured. It was north out of the city, correct?
That's right.
All right. Then I'm going to take a friend, and I'm going to take him out of the city about. Honestly, it's probably like a 2 or 3 hour walk, right?
Give or take.
Before we reach a very quiet little spot. The river bends in such a way that it's almost like a small little alcove. A little pocket of nature, far enough away that we can't see the hustle and bustle of the city, the fields of grain and crops that are currently being grown. How does it look after a week of plant lightning, actually? Because I probably found this place before the plant lightning, right?
There you go.
Oh,
It's
perfect.
this,
Oh,
but more of a grown.
yes. All right, perfect.
Of note, a lot of what was saplings are now, or at least gentle trees, are now a lot bigger of trees, and there's a lot more bushes, and it's a little tough to walk around, but less tough for the big one.
Once we get there, I'm gonna look up at friend and say, this, well, at least part one, this
Sorry,
is my
wrong
gift.
one. Can the others see this as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna look up at friend and say, well, this place is my gift. I don't know how many other people know about it. I don't think it really matters.
He looks over at the old dilapidated pillars.
It kind of reminds me of where we found you.
Yes. It seems at one point someone else knew about this place.
Oh, that would be a very long time ago. And, well, it said it was kind of a two-part gift, and my second part is this. this. It's a promise. I don't know where you're from. I don't know what happened before we got you out of that rock. But God's is my witness. We're gonna find out. All right. I don't know if that's important to you, but I hope it is. Because even if we don't really identify with, or even if it's not really familiar to us, it's always a little nice to know where you came from.
There's no need to promise me that.
I know. That's what makes promises special. There's never a need to promise. You could always take anyone at their word. You can trust anything anybody says. But I'm going out of my way to say to you that that's what I want to do. Whatever it takes, I'll do it for you.
You should know better by now not to trust people with their word.
Well, I guess I'm a little bit of a fool then.
There have been greater fools before you.
And they'll be far greater after. Unless you meant, my compatriot.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't agree with what he did that day. I really don't. Trust is important, and he broke it. He broke mine. Look where that got him. I miss him. And so does Missy. But, we really can't say he didn't do that to himself.
What's done is done.
It's done, it's done. Besides, forgiveness is an understanding I think are more important than vitriol and hate. It's not your fault.
It was not Bitterbark's fault.
I don't think it was his fault either. I really don't. He allowed
His
us into
understanding of mortals seems to differ greatly from what I've seen so far in and out of the city.
How so?
I doubt in the city people are executed routinely for their crimes.
Hey, Mr. GM, what's the punishment for theft in the city?
Not being immediately murdered on sight.
Understood. Yeah, that was a little extreme.
Now,
I don't.
depending on how it goes, if they're continuing to provide an imminent threat to other people, such as would be the case if you were harming someone's child, they may be very well in their means to stop you.
Yes.
But after they've attempted to escape, it would be a little bit unreasonable to murder someone after they have begun to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the magic on my voodoo charm is kind of waning. Can I borrow your child's finger?
Sorry, it's my second child. I'll go get
Sorry,
my first child.
that was a strange thing to say.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, you need to use a first child. So give me a moment. I gotta stop by the daycare.
See, no, what you got, that you're going about this all wrong. It's really easy to get access to a child's hand. You just ask them for a high five and then grab them by the wrist and get the knife.
Hi there, may I have your name? Thanks.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, back to the scene.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, yeah, it is quite a bit different out here than it was in there. And no, I can't say that, his crime was punishable by death in the city. It definitely wasn't. But
Bitterbark has seen far more than either of us.
oh, I know. And folk are old. Terrifyingly old. I'd love to ask him some questions one day, but I doubt he's ever going to want to see me again. So,
It matters not. He will
Why not?
probably be with me when I see him next.
are you planning on returning to him soon? Or when are you planning on returning?
One day. Soon or not.
Well, I'll feel a lot more comfortable if you're there with me, so I'd love to accompany you when that happens.
I will make sure of it.
Thanks for coming out here with me, by the way.
There's no need to thank me. I needed a reason to get out of the city.
I figured. You know, I spent a lot of today trying to give out gifts to people. Some went better than others, but I think this was the one I was most confident about.
It was a very simple one, but most welcomed.
Well, this is your gift. We can enjoy it however you'd like. I'm more than happy to stay out here until sunset threatens to catch up to us. You don't eat, right? Like, I've never seen you eat, and you weren't really eating yesterday. I just wanted to...
No.
Okay. Cool. Well, I brought myself a snack, so if you want to... I'm just going to pull out, like, a little basket.
You may help yourself.
Thank you. At one point, he's going to wander over to the rocks and just start investigating them a little bit as well, and the pillars.
Yeah, friend will also be at the pillars.
Yeah.
It's evident that both the rocks and the pillars were placed there, but there doesn't seem to be anything particularly noteworthy about them beyond the fact that they are intentionally designed.
There's no secret markings that are going to go green this time.
Nope, and you're also roboting.
Oh. Is that fixed?
Seems like it.
Okay, I wandered like 30 feet to the left. Not 30 feet, like 3 feet to the left. Let's take off that 0, and apparently that was enough. Before we head back, Teffert's gonna look up a friend really quick. Friend, I got a weird question.
Yes.
Are you happy?
He doesn't answer immediately. I've never thought about that.
What have you thought about?
A lot. There are places that I want to go and return to.
Like where?
I have mentioned already I wish to return to Bitterbark at some point.
Yes. Teffert's got a little notebook out.
I would like to return to the skeletons, make sure they're all put to rest, and anything else in that area.
I'm absolutely with you there. That is important to me too. Both of those are. Anywhere else?
Our new companions. I wish to see them get to where they need to be.
What does that mean?
Get to where they're needing to go. Cannot seem to recall the details.
Neither can I. Well, our goals are certainly aligned there.
After that, I don't know. Perhaps return to where I was found.
I was hoping you'd say that, because I do too. Especially because, correct me if I'm wrong, after we left, we couldn't find that spot again, right?
I don't remember.
I'm asking,
Which one specifically?
the spot where we found Friend. The ruins.
I don't know if you ever went back.
Oh, you know what? That's true. I probably would not have.
Yeah.
But,
I don't remember
Probably-
anyone going back.
yeah. But, yeah. I would too. A lot we don't know about that place, and we got a lot more eyes now. You've got a lot more experience too. Do you think that would make you happy?
I'm not sure.
Well, there's only one way to find out then.
What does
Sound
it
good?
like to feel happy?
It's like sunshine fills up your chest. And just for however long, the way of the world's what you need to do. Your problems, your worries. Just for a little bit. They're not bothering you so much anymore. You get to feel kind of like a leaf in the wind. Able to enjoy the company of those around you. Able to appreciate things for what they are. Just fulfilled. one moment, you've got what you need. That's good enough.
I see.
You could probably ask a million different people and get a million different answers, but that's what it's like for me. Who knows, maybe your feeling happy is different from my feeling happy. How'd you feel when we walked out here?
Relieved.
It's part of it too. If you ever need anything, you ever want to say anything, I'll be around to listen. But we should probably get back. It's getting dark out. I don't want to be out here when the night falls.
About you.
What was that?
What about you?
What about me?
Do you need anything?
It's been a while since anyone asked me that. I need answers to a million questions.
What about one?
If I could pick any one question, or do you have a question?
One of your questions. You need
You
not
see-
answer now.
No, you see his brow furrow up, and you see a conflict in his eyes almost, just like he's flitting them back and forth, looking around. He doesn't. He wears his emotions on his sleeve very frequently, and honesty wins out. I want to know why. I want to know why that. There was a creature that I have deigned to not utter their name to give them that satisfaction. But
What do you mean?
a few years ago, I was out on an expedition, a monster hunt. My parents, they were monster hunters, right? And this terrifying, absurdly powerful being with two heads stalked us through the woods, took my mom away from us. It had this incredible power over illusion and the world itself. It seemed like reality was bending around this thing's whims, and those whims were cruel. That was the cruelest creature that I've ever met. Sorry, Missy, just 1 second. And to this day, I have never understood why it targeted us, why it wanted us to remember its name and spread its legend, and why it was that cruel. Why would something with that power choose to torment and torture when it could be helpful? That's what I want to know.
Did you find her?
We did, but it cost my dad his life. He saved all of us that day.
I see.
But yeah, I'd want to know why.
How far was that from here?
Good question. How far was that from here?
Pretty far. I was up in
Pretty
Cairo. I mean, if you want to see, we can show you, but it would be probably at least like 5 weeks, 6 weeks travel.
Gotcha.
Yeah, more than a month north of
1,
here. Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5.
And unlike
3.5 weeks, call it.
3.5 weeks, let's call it a month.
Yeah.
So that's
like half a month.
roughly. Yeah, just less than half a month.
Oh, sorry, half a month. A real life month, but not a.
Except
That
not
would be
actually
close to
because
like
a week is
18 days.
Because a week is 5 days in this.
Yeah, but a day is also like 32 hours.
30 hours.
Yeah, 30 hours. Fake fan.
It's about 3.5 weeks from here. And shockingly, and now that I say it out loud, that's not a question I want to have answered anytime soon. If I go up there with you and Rat and Kaio and Hiroe, and something bad happens to one of you, no, not every question needs to get answered. No, I'd rather find out some more information down here. I don't want any of you guys anywhere near that monster.
How long ago was this?
Would have been 3 or 4 years at this point, right? 3 years?
Way more than 4 years, right? I think
No,
you were a kid at the time.
I don't know. Oh shit! No, it was kind of paving the way into adulthood.
Yeah, I'd probably put it at like 6 personally.
6. Okay, yeah, it's about 6 years ago.
He nods.
If it matters later, we do have a documented date somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not important right now.
hmm It wasn't recent. It was relatively not recent.
He looks away for a couple seconds and then turns back to him. You're aware how old Bitterbark is, yes?
He didn't give me an exact time.
He didn't give me one either.
I know he's old.
You realize it is possible he may have answers.
He might. That's a good. Sorry, my headphones keep cutting out at a weird time. It's a good plan. Hopefully we'll have time after we help out these. Did we get a name for these? Their people, or?
I mean, you have the name of this like city, and you know that they're skink folk.
Yes. Once we help out these skink folk,
The name?
I'd like to head back. No, sorry. I was just my mind stopped working for half a second. Once we help out these skink folk, we're maybe we should go by and pop by and pay him a visit if we have the time.
Eventually, we will have the time,
Yeah.
but Bitter Trunk taught me that some creatures do not belong with the rest of them, or with nature. From what you've told me, this is beyond even those.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. Whew, I don't think I've told that to anyone, sons. I don't think I've told that to anyone. Thank you for listening.
It is not a story to be told lightly. And it is one that seems to carry with it a heavy burden.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing it with me.
It was you who shared it with me.
Not the story, the burden.
I see.
You're a good fellow.
He does not respond to that.
Tefrid is gonna nod a little bit. He's gonna pack up his stuff. Take one last little glance over the pillars, the ruins. Shall we head back? We're heading back into the wilds tomorrow.
I'm assuming you have this spot marked.
Yes, I do.
We can head back then.
Absolutely. Alright, and we head back.
After the two of them leave the area, a last bit of lightning strikes somewhere between those two pillars and a flower begins to grow as they make their way back home. They get back a bit before everybody's heading to rest. Grix has a gift for Rat, which they bring over and begin to get their attention while they are probably working on maintenance at the table.
Mm-hmm.
In a rather smooth draconic, as they are tend to do. This is for you to keep yourself safe. You're not allowed to get hurt out there, so... And they slide to you a small pack with rather well-pressed and well-preserved meats. 3 of them.
He looks down at it, actually paying attention to it beyond his work, as he tends to not do for anyone else. And nods.
Thank you. I spent the most of today running in circles, so I don't really have anything right now, but
I'm sure you'll find something somewhere. You asked me why I stay here, and it's to meet a bunch of different people, but sometimes I do wish I could see a bit that you have out there, so whatever it is, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, none of it's better than what the clan, but take what we can get, I suppose.
He looks to the door as Friend and Tefford re-enter and begins to make their way over to begin gathering up some drinks for Tefford.
Ah, the two of you are back.
Mm-hmm.
Tefford,
Yes.
given our situation on rations for the upcoming journey,
Mm-hmm.
I took stock of our inventory while we were here, and it seems that we have roughly enough for 3 weeks of travel at the moment. Given this, I would recommend that we make a purchase of roughly an additional 6.5 weeks of rations.
I wholeheartedly agree. It's good. I don't know exactly how long it'll take us to get to Polio, but
But that amount of food should also buy us enough time to gather enough to handle an additional week or two of travel beyond this amount, if the need arises.
yes, absolutely.
And
Full
the burden of weight should not be an issue given my magics, assuming that they return to normal tomorrow. But given that I've been able to cast cantrips all day, I think we're well on the way to that.
I hope so.
Rat's ear kind of perks up, and he kind of looks down, and he kind of smacks his own arm, in a little frustrated, and looks up.
Can still no cast normal spell.
Not yet,
Is Forge in town?
probably. Ah, I see.
Oh,
Well, it will be
not think sooner.
It will be 2 days too late, but I can attempt to leverage some forge time for you to make up for no gift on the 5th day.
He kind of just frustratedly thinks to himself,
It just yes, get time.
and he looks over at Grix.
Need some time.
They shake their head in between working on some of the orders. Of note, since we are no longer in the tutorial phase, any forge actions that are beyond trivial would probably still take up, you'd still get your 2 attempts in a week, but it does still take your weekly action.
Have I
Bastion turn
taken a weekly
excuse
action
me.
for the Bastion action for 4?
I don't think that we declared Bastion actions for the Querac.
Okay.
Well, you know what? That's fair.
His intention generally is to, while magic is kind of not really around too much, try and shape some of the ore. And what he's doing is he's going to try and make basically an unbreakable knife for Grix.
Oh, I see. Since the magic of the metal would also be somewhat suppressed, most likely.
Yeah, because the magic of some of his ingredients were also suppressed.
Of which
That
metal
makes sense.
specifically?
The ore that we got from mining in the
The Skyfall?
Starfall.
Skyfall, yeah. The one that was extremely resistant to change.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's a little more malleable, so that would absolutely have been anything you can do. Let's go ahead and just run through that real quick. Even if we did
How much
declare
would it cost
Bastion
for those?
actions, it's been long enough and it's Querac, so that's cool. What's everybody doing?
And
for
plus,
their
I feel
action?
like for me, I will not have had an action because just the panic of all that shit throwing my plans into disarray.
he spends time making sure to meditate and maintain mental health.
Poorly.
He didn't have a breakdown, so.
Rat's
Teffer's-
action action is fucking sucking, being awful.
Tefferts was scouting for that spot.
Okay.
I know this is silly. I think I would have said guard because I kind of just. Yep, that's what I'm doing. I don't know what's happening. Yes.
Okay. Front. We'll come back to it. And then obviously we know Rat has his crafting he's doing. So you
How
get
much would the forge
two
time cost?
crafting actions. Considering the amount of time you'd be using it for, let's say 2 silver.
Okay. Yeah.
Since this is a bit of a free-form one, you can put whatever you want into it, and the strength of the materials will determine the value of the output. It'll be a gradient thing.
He's probably just going to. Let's see here. He doesn't know enough about the metal to even try to alloy it, so
So just the
think-
individual instances of it.
yeah, probably 3 individual instances of it in the intention to make a knife blade out of it. A kitchen knife blade.
All right, let me pull back up my big sheet of crafting. So I think I have the listed aspects for it. All right. Skyfall slivers. You do have at least 3 of them? Yeah, you do. You have plenty
We
of
have a
them.
lot.
Yeah. It has 2 edge each, so that's at by default 6 edge. Let's see. These weather events were. Neither of these give a bonus to edge. The default forge would give 2, so if you have some other way, your crafting's still at 1? Yeah. You know what I'll say? This is like your 3rd craft or your 4th? This is your 4th craft. You know what I'll say? I'll say this is enough to push you up. Would you say Rat's 2nd ingredient would probably be edge? First is forge, 2nd is edge?
Oh, aspects?
Yeah.
Aspects. We already did that. He has a second one. We talked about this. It was another thing.
It was edge.
It was edge.
Mhm.
Okay, we already did this. He already has edge as a second one.
Okay, then
Where-
he gets +2. That brings you to 10, which gets you to a tier 2.
What was he crafting? Right, because we identified that this was an edge-based thing related to the. I don't remember what it was exactly that it would. The bomb.
Some of the impact sites were edge, but the metal itself is strongly sky aspected.
Okay, I really gotta take my dog out 1 second.
I think it was related to creating the bombs for mining.
Mhm.
Was when we
Probably
went through
true.
this. Okay.
You create a quality 2, which if it were a normal-ish weapon, which would probably have more strict requirements than this, just compared to a regular sort of kitchen knife, it would be a +2 kitchen knife.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty exceptionally
Now
good.
you just have to figure out how to do stuff like that on a bigger scale.
Yeah. Well, he's got 2 crafting attempts, right? So that's 1.
Mm-hmm.
If he's got time, dude, I don't know.
That's rather a canny technique using the anti-magic field caused by this weather to try and suppress the durability of this metal.
Only wish more anti-magic time for 4G.
Well,
Consistent.
tell you what, if I ever become powerful enough arcanist to learn how to invoke anti-magic fields of my own, I can try and help in that regard.
His thing can do.
Eventually.
He shrugs.
We'll believe one can't see.
He kind
It will be
of
some time.
scratches his chin. he's going to.
Also, I'm wrong. That would be a +1 because at 5 it would be a success. At 10 it would be a +1. So it's a +1.
I see. I see.
Not
I see.
+1 then +2.
Still really good.
Yep.
Mhm.
My brain went, it's in tier 2, so it gets a +2.
You know what? We'll just do it again. We'll make a second one so that if he needs to
Zest.
watch one, you can have another one.
Alright. Go ahead and subtract 6 encumbrance from your Skyfall materials, and you'll have another one. You'll have a +1 dagger. Non-magical. Actually, it technically would be magical. I think that still works.
Well, they're not. They're kitchen knives, very specifically, but
Yeah. It's still a dagger. For practical purposes.
I'm
But it's
not
a
going to
kitchen
add
knife.
it to my inventory because I'm giving them away almost immediately.
Oh, you're
so.
giving it back to him? You're giving both of them
We're giving
to
him to
This is
Grix.
good.
Yeah,
Okay.
the gifts are. He told Grix he was giving them to him.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't realize you
Or
were doing
giving
the
some.
second one as well. Or if you wanted it as like a pair. But both of them to him it goes.
Yeah, he makes his way back over. He's not sweating because he doesn't do that, but he's got, soot on him and he's not clean. He's normally not clean, but it's clear he's been working in the forge recently. As he kind of works his way into the area, hooks his way up onto one of the stools, kind of steps up onto the counter, and in like a cloth, he kind of prevents forward the two knives on the table.
They're in the middle of preparing something and they turn around and see it. They stop what they're doing, very quickly wipe off their hands, grab one of them, move over, use it to cut real quick, testing it out along it. Wipe it off, put it to the side, take the knife that they had previously been using, give it to you, and take the other one from you. And just give you 3 different knives, and they're like, these are yours now. I have no longer a need for them.
That nods a couple of times.
Should better work when Magic Sky Weird not here.
Actually, when if it's Grix, he would have just said,
It'll probably work better when it's not, Weird Out.
They're kind of holding it up, glistening it a little bit, seeing how the edges and the light, and being like, that's quite well done. We'll see.
nods a couple of times.
Glad to help.
As he pops back off.
You can go
And
ahead
is
and
pretty
take
proud of
2.
himself.
You can go ahead and take 2 encumbrance of scrap metal.
Holy base.
And so, the final day of the Cleric draws to a close unless anyone has any further actions.
Nope.
Indeed. It is the first of a new year.
And the first of Late Seed.
Indeed.
Woo!
There's a very simple action to be had. That is our Bastion turn.
Alright, hold on, let me get the document up. In the meantime, can we roll for threat and for scouting? And we were also going to buy 333 rations.
Since this is the first time we're going back in a Bastion turn for a while, if anybody has any questions, do feel free to ask.
So yeah, by buying that many rations, we'll be going up to 490, which means that when we spend our rations this time, we'll be down to 420. Nice.
Mhm.
How much was it to buy rations anyway? I forgot.
I believe it's 4
Or
copper
copper
per.
per, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many did you say it was that we were buying?
333.
13.32 gold. Which is
I just don't know how far away this place is, so
Through your conversations between you and Tefford, you know that it would be a solid distance away, and it would be good to over-prepare.
alright, money's been managed.
We don't want to
Okay.
be stranded out here.
And then what are we doing to indicate the weight gain that we are gaining from the spell and everything?
We're buying a new pair of pants.
Did I
Actually,
not do it?
could-
I thought I created an object called...
Tensor's floating disk.
yeah.
What, with negative weight?
Well, just with 500 encumbrance.
Where
That's it.
is this?
Yeah, I
He was
apparently
trying
did
to find
not.
Oh, damn.
I mean, you could do it like Caves of Cud. Sphere
Oh
of
yeah,
negative
just give it
weight,
negative
where
500 to the...
give it negative weight so
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
yeah.
As long as BBQ is maintaining that as his action.
Yeah, and what you can do is
Ooh, you can
whenever
just
it
toggle it.
whenever it's active, you can
Yeah.
toggle it and it'll change the weight
Mhm.
on the mule.
Toggle, edit.
Alright, so we did the exploration roll. Weather roll.
I believe weather roll is DM facing now.
That is correct.
Alright.
Please focus
Oh.
on something else while I do this.
While he's doing that, I'm going to go down the list. Aura, what is your Bastion action?
Like I said, I'm going to be guarding a lot.
Okay. Golden.
We're still inside the town, right?
We are leaving on the 1st.
Okay. Which is today.
Yep.
But we haven't left yet.
Yeah.
So I'm studying.
Okay. Then, Chad, what is your Bastion action?
Probably study. It does not look like it's letting me make a negative 500 weight.
For my part, I am going to take the Ritual Floating Disc action. And Albatross.
I am going to be guarding.
Question. We just finished, I thought, a long rest, but it looks like I took damage or something?
I mean,
Did
you
we
can
not-
just click on long rest.
Okay, I didn't want to cheat if there was a reason that I was
No,
missing
long
HP.
rests are always... If you are resting in a settlement without being disturbed, you have experienced a long rest.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Just gonna hit that button just in case he's.
It's like, when did I
Yeah,
take
we
8
should
damage?
all hit that button just
Yeah,
to be safe.
Just everyone make sure the button's being pressed. Everyone
Alright.
take your naps.
You'd say
Then,
here,
additionally-
between the colors of blue-green and like a reddish pink, you'd definitely say Heroes is probably closer to along the blue spectrum because of the Aurora thing, or do you think it would be more green?
I was actually thinking like a pretty solid, like it's made of a purple mist almost.
Alright. Oh, actually, no, this one's better. Let's try that.
Okay, and additionally, learning progress. So everyone roll their 3d6 or 5d6 if you took the study action, plus int. Oh, and Golden, if you could do threat rolls, please.
Mm-hmm.
It is not letting me add a visual icon to it. I will do this later.
Yippee, over halfway to plus 1 int.
Wow, I'm so jealous.
How'd you add plus 6, Chad?
Because multiple people are studying, I thought.
Oh,
That's
right,
stupid that
yeah.
you're doing it +1 because of
Right.
weapons.
Yep. I remember.
Hey, question. All of my, trickery and shenanigans using the mage hand that I have through telekinetic feat, how many uses of my signature feat should I write down for that?
Let's start with 2. We'll figure it out more later if we need to.
Okay. I'm trying to keep track of this. I'm up to 12.
What do I add to the learning roll with the number of people?
You just add an additional 1.
Okay.
Nice.
Alright, it does not let you have a negative weight. This is cringe.
Incredibly tragic. Instead, I think we can just have another,
Mm-hmm.
actor that is the disc that has 500 encumbrance or something, and then we just put the food on it.
Sorry for the delay. Again, I will focus on the art of it later because for some reason it's not letting me upload.
No worries.
Would it be there? It needs to be slightly less, is it? That.
Oh, apologies for the delay, friends. But now we can get on the road. If you would be willing to show us where this destination of ours is.
There you go. Tense's disc has been provided.
Yippee!
It is 495 strength. You don't need, or encumbrance. You don't need to worry about.
Isn't it 500?
It is, and it says that if it goes to 500, it falls apart. So.
Oh, okay.
That's 495. And then I will roll my weather, and we can get on the road. All right.
All right.
Albatross. If everyone is prepared to adventure, strike on.
All right. It's south.
Oh,
Wow, what a good first turn. How could anyone have predicted this? So that is
Loading
2
screen
tiles
time.
from the right. That would put you here.
Oh no, region threat 7.
No,
We'll be fine as long as we're not stupid.
What was the region threat in the later place we were in last? I didn't see the number.
Like a
previous
3?
one was it should be 3. Yeah.
I think we're fine. Cross.
That's our first turn. It is now the second.
Yep. Cross. Fuck, these are hills.
They're skink folk,
Oh,
right?
nice.
We would want to
And
follow the
keep in
river.
mind, you guys do have your folding box if you want to ignore river movement on a bastion turn.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the way I was supposed to go.
You're trying to go down left.
I was trying to go down left, and I just hit left on my keyboard, and it didn't want to do the thing I wanted them to do.
Mhm.
All right, there. Okay. We're still on day 3 right now.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is still the third.
You'd have
Oh,
one more
the boat
movement.
folding is actually very,
Yeah.
very convenient, and I do have proficiency with shipwrights stuff.
Hmm.
So between that and guidance and all of this, I feel like we don't really have to worry too much. We can just do it.
All right. Marshland is
2.
not same as
3?
Explain.
3.
Oh god, 3.
Yeah, I think Swamp is tied with Marsh for the worst one, for very understandable reasons.
You know, it might be faster to
Considering-
go around this hill.
Yeah. Okay, so instead we go here at the end of the third
Yeah,
day.
yeah, here, and then
5, we go south. Oh, yeah.
okay, it's a lot of marsh over here.
Definitely was faster.
Yeah,
Mhm.
100%.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Swamps are the tomb.
Guys, we're in a pickle.
What was the
Oh.
adventure roll?
12.
12. Okay.
Okay, I think we should head to this
We
tile
don't.
just to get vision.
I was going to say we double back and we use the boat on the water to head further south without having to worry about the marsh.
We don't know how far that is. That's a lot of time. This marsh might not be. For all we know, this whole area down here is marsh. Hey, can you ask your friends what kind of terrain surrounds their
I'm going to ask them roughly
It is marsh,
what
but it
direction we
is
should be
not
heading.
this one. This one is unfamiliar to them.
Okay.
Do they know what direction we need to be going?
They do, as does Tefred. Very south.
South. Yes, south.
Okay.
Very south.
Yes, I know which way we're supposed to be going. This way.
I still think that heading through the water itself could be somewhat
All right.
beneficial, at least.
Okay, I'm with you on that then.
What day is it currently?
It is the 5th currently, I believe.
Okay.
That was I think was our last movement on the 5th.
Nope, we have 2 more.
Perfect.
I never rolled my perception check for the guard action.
Oh yeah, do
It
that.
looks like we're making the right decision.
You should probably do
Okay.
that.
I thought somebody was going to prompt me.
Oh yeah, hold on. I'm joining you. What do we add because there's 2 of us?
Oh, you
Plus
you
one.
roll. I have the lower bonus.
Oh yeah.
yeah, right. It's not a +1. It's a better roll.
Well, it's whoever has the highest is the one that rolls, and they get a +1 if I'm helping.
Yeah,
What
can you
stat
have a
what
plus
stat
one
roll is
one?
this again?
Perception.
Perception. Add +1 to this.
It's pretty solid.
22. Fantastic.
See,
Alright.
I have a +1, I
Uh-huh.
think.
So, give me a
Alright,
moment.
so-
I want to take a look. Before you continue, I need to look at the specific results for 20s on that. I should add outlines at some point to this. Alright, guard. Gotcha. Was it you
Alright.
who was guarding primarily, Tefred?
Yes.
Okay, I will copy something and I will send it to the 2 of you.
Suspicious.
It is very
Suspicious.
suspicious.
Also, it
Ow,
was gentle. It
concerning.
was fairly gentle wind with a bit of overcast as you travel. Mostly sunny, but a bit of overcast sun.
Okay, then on the 6th we head southwest.
That's the plan, yeah.
Okay.
Do wait to move.
Oh.
Would we be foraging as we go? I feel like that would be wise. I know we just bought
None
a
of us took the forge action.
I know, I'm saying, as
I-
we're wandering.
Always hit that button. I'm always like, I normally do, but we bought a lot of food this time around, and we're going into hostile territory that we know is being attacked. So I figured, figured we should probably be on watch.
I will send this to Aura as well.
Thank you. Pio seems somewhat unsettled as we continue our way into the swamp, although he seems
with the two of them
Mhm.
guarding, they're also generally scouting out the area before the main group does so.
Mhm.
Tefert is on guard currently, which is, I mean, he normally is at least like present, but he is currently like actively head on a swivel. You haven't seen him in this specific mode yet.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah,
Kairson's pretty impressed. This is the most serious that he's ever seen you. And probably the most serious he's ever taken you.
Mhm.
Would
I'm
you care
always
to
serious.
describe that to the party however you choose as you begin to make your way into or as they begin to pack up for the day to begin heading into the swamp after you've done your scouting?
Yeah. Tefrid is moving more mechanically, almost like, as opposed to normally when he's a little bit more carefree, and I don't want to say lackadaisical, but, yeah, we'll use that word. He is moving like a machine. His characteristic smile is not present on his face. He is focused, and he's going to look to the group. All right, sounds like danger up ahead. Takes a while to move through swamp. We need to be careful to not hit anything bad or dangerous. All right.
Right.
We don't know what's ahead, and fighting in a swamp. Heard about it. I never actually have to do it. My dad and my mom had to do it. Not fun. We are going to be careful. All right.
Right.
All right. Let's keep moving. Make sure the mules. Make sure they're packed tightly around the mules. They can't move quickly through this.
Neither can any of us.
Yes, but they have hooves. All right. Let's get moving.
Okay. So down left onto day
Mhm.
6.
Yes.
You end up, throughout most of the day, it's even slower than you would have expected, parentheses, still just 3 movement. You don't manage to reach either the lake or the river by the time you start to tire out and need to set up camp.
All right. Guys, try to find somewhere drier. If we need to, we can set up in the trees. Not the mules, though. We need to have someone down by the mules.
The
Right.
wind that had previously been gentle rolling over the plains is growing harsher and harsher as it whistles through the trees and the vines, sounding almost like screams as it billows through.
Here away?
This is familiar.
Familiar? Explain, please.
The screaming winds during the Quirax.
Oh, you're right.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
I was
were
going to
about
ask you to ask our friends here if they've ever encountered anything like this. If they know what's going on.
They do not.
All right.
They are on edge, though. 2 of them are taking it very poorly, the ones that aren't go bug. And they're kind of huddled up next to each other, being like, ah! Being a little afraid, while the other one's stoic as always.
All right.
If we can find a place to put the food that isn't in danger of being soaked and ruined.
No, we
I
can put it up in
will-
the... Here, if we take it into a tarp and take it into a tree and... Rat!
Rat's on top of one of the mules looking.
All right. Do you like climbing trees?
He nods a couple of times.
All right, cool. You want to guard our food in a tree?
He thinks for a second, then nods a couple of times.
All right, cool. That's your job then, all right? You're guarding our food in the trees when we're setting up camp in the swamp.
Okay.
Thank you, Rat.
Well, if there is anything strange about this, I can take first watch. I can maintain a detect magic spell, and if there is anything dangerous, and if it is paranormal, I will be the first to know.
Thank you, Hero. All right. The rest of us are going to try our best to stay dry. Nothing's worse than wet boots at night. Besides murder, but you know what I mean.
I like to think you're saying this, and Kaio is like shape watering the water out of its shoes.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than this. Be careful. Yep.
Kirway is going to start this whole thing off by trying to use Molder to create like something relatively above the waterline.
I was about to say, can the two of you together make a dry patch of land?
Probably.
Oh, actually, that's. Of
There's
course.
still bits of it that are dry land, but they are dry in a more relativistic sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more so it's currently above the water line, but of
Mhm.
course water would still kind of soak into it from the surrounding.
I think
It's
if we spent some time together with him molding the earth and me shaping the water away from that, we could find enough raw material to create something here.
Define something.
A pile of mud.
Yeah, technically true.
A slightly less shitty place to sleep.
Probably
Just
true.
like
We're not trying to outsmart this. You can't outsmart the swamp. Florida proved it. It's
Much to
Brad is
your
a Floridian.
dismay, despite the regardless of the quality of the products that you end up producing with this, it ends up being to very little avail, as it is exceptionally difficult for any of you other than friends to sleep through the night as the screams continue and begin cycling through different directions as the wind changes, leaving you very poorly intact.
all right, Kaio. Good morning. Are you capable of driving a boat in your condition?
driving a boat.
We're gonna try to get to a river and head south on a river.
So here's a big question. I can help repair a ship. I don't think I know how to drive one.
You have shipwrights,
to
you
say.
do.
Oh, fantastic! It's
Of course.
been a while.
I mean, dude, of course you do.
Well, I'm just looking at my character sheet. Yeah, so Kaya will just kind of groggily stretch, yawn, say, "It's been a while since I've had to sail, but I mean, if you need me to, of course."
It beats the swamp.
Like, what a deal.
All right,
All
let's
right,
get
then.
moving, people. Great job, everyone. We're keeping it up. You guys are doing excellent. You guys too. I'm gonna point to the people who don't understand me and give them a thumbs up.
Due to the length of time that it takes to begin setting up the boat once you do... Whoops. That's not intentional. Stop this shit. Get out of here.
Technical difficulties.
I closed the tab. Why are you still playing, fucker? As you begin unpacking it, and the river begins to be filled with this folding ship that ends up taking up a good chunk of size. It's not like it's a massive boat, but it's comfortable enough for everyone to be there. Eventually, well, Tefrid and, in this case, Heroi, since Kaio is currently the one managing the ship and beginning to assemble everything as it all folds out, are making sure to hold the line using his detect magic that he's maintaining, and end up discovering the source of the issue and all of the screaming without it identifying them due to their exceptional guard roll, as they are able to stay hidden as it does so. This screeching blue spirit continually circles around the area and just travels through in bursts of speed before poking around bushes and just clearly being tormented as parts of its hair twist around its head and just move around ethereally as it floats around, shooting up into the tops of trees, jashing around, and generally making a nuisance of the situation. Despite the, perhaps, situation that seems to be comedic given the sprite that's been chosen for the actual characters experiencing it. It's very good. It's actually a bit terrifying, especially when it travels along nearby you and the screams grow more intense. It feels as if, despite the relative warmth of the swamp, that your skin is much colder than it should be, which fades as it disappears off into the side somewhere else.
I'm glad we didn't have to encounter that thing in a fight. That had to have either been a ghost or a banshee, and frankly, neither one would have gone well. None of our weapons would have availed ourselves against something like that, except maybe Friend's staff.
Spirits are no joke. You have to be very well prepared for them.
Maybe myself and Kyle could fend it off with our magics, but that is a maybe.
If we're in a pinch, lighting a torch and waving it at them and well, hitting them with it might work. In a pinch.
It's not much, but no, it's just not much.
Yeah.
Now, this is kind of a a flavor thing, so I don't know if this would be permitted. It's not within the realm of the cantrip, but he would like to kind of flex, say a few words in Celestial, and then the same ethereal skeletal fish that he uses for Chill Touch would just kind of appear for a moment, swimming around his hand, and then he shakes his hand and they are dismissed.
Totally.
This can somewhat handle the undead, but only for me, and it's not really much of a help. Are you sure you don't want to pursue? I mean, it's unique. We haven't seen anything like that.
I should very much not like to engage in when I don't know if it is a ghost or a banshee.
Kyle,
Mm-hmm.
I like you a lot. Did you listen to a word I said before we got in the swamp?
I did. I was ignoring it. Okay.
Okay, cool.
He's disappointed. I mean, it's exciting. It's something new, but yeah, no, he'll defer to your expertise.
And with that, the boat has been set up without issue.
Okay.
The
How
way
far
it
do we-
works is
Thank
that each normal movement, rather than traveling over a tile, lets you travel along the edge of a tile set. So, so you'd be here, and then you could travel here, and then here with 2 points of movement. When you're on water tiles, you can continue to move along the edge, either sticking to the coast or not. If it's anything deeper than shallow water, you can start to have issues traveling along the edges, but as long as you're in shallow water, there's no complications with movement.
Okay.
Okay.
So currently, the party is on this edge and has 3 points of movement.
All right. How much
You do
movement?
need to make sure you hold shift.
Thank you. How much movement would this be? Is this 2 still to get to
Yep,
there?
that would
Yeah.
be 2, and then you'd be
1,
moving
2.
to another edge.
Ah! Oh, I can rotate the mule.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna get us to here. That's gonna be 3, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And we can set
That's
up camp
the-
on the shore.
Well,
Ooh,
you
what's
can
that?
also set up a decent camp since it's warm and you don't have to worry about like cold. You can just set up on the ship. Current day is the 7th
How big's the
or
ship?
the 8th.
Let's see.
I
So
mean,
we
the
were.
camp doesn't need to be big. It's probably like 15 feet by. Actually, slightly more than that. Probably.
It
like
is the end of the 7th. Yes.
25 feet by like 8 feet, give or take. 2 floors. He's got a deck and a hull.
It's a lot bigger than I thought it was. Holy shit!
Mm-hmm.
I thought
a
it was
magic item.
like a dinghy.
Oh, you thought it was like a Minecraft boat.
Yeah, I thought it was enough to carry us.
No, it's a bobo.
Okay.
It's a
shit's
small
most-
personal ship.
It's a
Also, of note, if you are still on it at the end of a bastion turn and it does break, you would have to find a way to shore. So don't be out on the middle of the area when it breaks. If it breaks.
rat. Cannot swim.
Yeah.
It is known.
And for that reason, I suggest that we make camp on shore.
Well, I mean that's only at the end of the bastion
No,
turn.
Bastion.
I was talking about Rat not being able to swim.
I see.
Shit.
was.
if we get ambushed at night, I don't want Rat drowning.
That helps.
Especially not when it's harder to see him at night.
Plus, it also doesn't make much in the way of mechanical difference, so...
Yeah, if there's no... I can't see a reason to risk...
Anyway, so we are on the 8th now.
The camp
Yeah.
has been set up, and it was a much more restful night, seeing as now you're starting to get into an area where it's a little bit... It's leaning towards more tropical. It's still classified mostly as forested, but it's starting to have a bit of tropic or jungle-y essence mixed
We're
in.
going to Florida.
Continue. You have 3 points of movement.
Alright. Do we want to continue along the shoreline, or we want to check out that island?
I kind of want to check the island out.
I kind of want to check the island out, yeah.
I kind of want to check the island out.
Minecraft Island.
Alright, we're gonna...
Or explore core.
Yar
Yeah.
har fiddle dee dee.
We're gonna move to there. Okay, we're in the middle of this lake. Alright, and then move on to the tile. Oh, there's more islands!
Yo! Oh, One Piece!
Come aboard and bring
Up
along
note.
all your hopes and dreams, everyone.
If you're on one corner and you're moving to a non-adjacent corner, it still only costs 2 points of movement. So, like, you can
Okay.
technically, like, move to here with 2 points of movement. You don't have to spend 3
Oh
points
my
of movement
God.
traveling along the edge.
Oh, wow, there's a lot of
Just wanted
islands.
to show us islands.
Mhm.
We are just straight up in One Piece now.
Most of these islands over here in this area are... You wouldn't really classify them as independent islands. It's more like the swamp just continues out that far, and it's just growing so disparate that there's more water than land.
Oh, what's the name of that tree? Mangrove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Sabaody archipelago.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Thank you. Exactly.
Okay, so we are at the end of the 8th.
Okay, do we want to set up camp on an island, or...
Sure.
Alright. What? Or on the little pocket of landmass, rather.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
I have a question
Mm-hmm.
that is important. Does it look like these pockets of land, however big they are tide dependent?
If they are not at the current cycle,
Okay. Thank you for
at the
understanding what I
moment
meant.
Lady
It was
Moon
not.
is compassionate.
There's no way that's the correct term for that, so thank you for understanding. Alright, so we're moving on to the 9th?
Yep.
Alright. Oh, hold on. Gotta hold shift, not used to that. Alright, we're here. We're here. That was 1, 2, 3. Okay, we got land.
So, with the adventure roll you made,
Mhm.
as you're traveling through these various islands, go ahead and make me 2 loot rolls as you end up finding a crashed ship upon one of them.
Holy sakes.
Yarr.
Pirates!
Treasure!
Fire be treasure! That one video of the pirates.
I was
in
about to
screens
fucking
and-
bring up that. Oh, hold on. I have to find it. Holy shit.
Who wants to make loot rolls?
I've got the table open.
All right. Rat.
Here we are. I'm gonna post some AH memes.
In the second. This is good. Make 3 trade good rolls.
You ready for the doggest of shit trade good rolls?
Miss.
1, 2, 3.
At least those are the high amounts of the low value ones.
I mean, are we at leasting it? Because that's so much weight.
I think we take the medium values and skedaddle.
I mean, we actually have a lot of encumbrance to spare. For now,
Yeah.
Now, I
we
will
can just drop
say,
them later, right?
Yep.
yeah, I will say, we could. Who else is going to come out here?
Per game systems, anything you leave behind is just gone.
Understood. I was going to mark it on the map.
Yep. The only
Makes
time
more
that's
sense.
not the case is if you're in a settlement.
That's like 9 gold. It's not insubstantial, but it's a lot of weight for that. Alright, it is put away.
All right. And okay,
And then we get onto land for the end of the 10th.
that was the 9th, wasn't it?
Well, I'm saying, so the 9th.
Yeah.
and then
We
for the 10th,
there's
get
a
onto that
land. Yeah,
land.
yeah. There's a little bit of land to the south. We'll land there.
Right, you head over to this peninsula and then mount onto it. Kaio, can you give me a shipwright?
Oh boy, may I guide myself for this?
You may.
And what skill, what ability score governs shipwrights?
Your shipwright's tool.
What ability score, though?
Oh. It would normally be either dexterity or int. So I think on this one it's probably int because piloting is probably dexterity. This is more
Fantastic.
like maintenance.
I'm very stupid.
Holy
I was about to say, aren't those your 2 worst? Oh.
They are. The boat is
7
destroyed.
literally the breakpoint that I established? That's pretty funny if it is.
So 8 is.
Yep,
I
8 is.
rolled a 4, got a 4 on my guidance roll. You know what? Can I say that Umberly is smiling on me right
That
now?
is true, you do have that. Go ahead. Don't roll a 4 or less again.
Well, I will, but it's fine. She loves to play tricks.
Luckily you with your advantage from earlier. This is good. It is
Oh.
not broken.
Thank God.
This is
Thank
this
you,
is what he
Umberly.
has earned
First
for
use.
bullying Rat.
I got weird inspiration for being a rascal.
Holy faced.
I need to check on what that was.
I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick.
Ah.
Would we like to all go ahead and take a water break real quick?
I'm fine with that. Although I thought,
I've already got
no, I
one.
guess Albatross is not teaching, so we don't have a hard stop at 10 anymore.
No, we do not.
Ah.
Well, as the stream has been set, we'll be right back.
Nice.
Hey, welcome back.
Oh,
With
All right.
water
Hi.
in hand and water on coast, we realized that he did not add his proficiency bonus to his shipwright's tool that he has his proficiency bonus for. So he maintains Umberly's favor for now, fickle as she is. It's time for the next Bastion turn.
all right. So, to streamline things a little bit, Albatross, can I have you do the exploration roll, while Golden, you do the 3 threat rolls, and Chad, you subtract the 70 rations.
It is another day of warm skies.
That's a
Very nice.
fat fucking 7, my dude.
Oof. Alright. And while Golden is getting threat rolled, Ara, what is your action?
Oh, I will be. Well, you know what? I think I'll study this time.
Okay. Golden.
1 second.
Yep, no worries.
Let me know when we're ready to get. Oh, right, we have to do actions.
Golden, what is your Bastion action?
Am I the first one that's taking an action?
Ara already did, said he was studying.
Okay. I will guard this turn.
Chad. Chabathy?
Chad is
Studying.
Oh. I will ritual floating disc. And Albatross.
I will. Forage.
Forge? Okay.
Forge
While you
for
do
the
your
forge.
forging roll, I'm going to do my study roll.
That is now 5d6.
If you took a study action, yes. Oh my god. Okay, so that goes up.
And other people are
to-
studying, which means I don't have to subtract this time.
I get 14.
No, you got 10, I got 14.
No. I have a teacher.
Oh, cool.
Who's
So he
teaching
rounds
you?
up.
Rat.
What the?
Yeah, my minimum is the average,
Dang.
which in this case would be 14.
Is somebody else charismatic here? They want to help me talk to a mirror
Oh.
for 6 hours like it's The Sims?
Oh. Bish, you thought?
I know, right?
Do I give a perception roll for the guard?
You do?
Yes. And Albatross, would you be willing to do your foraging roll?
Yes, sorry, I had my
No
character
worries.
sheet open, I'm like, where?
No worries.
Yeah,
Sorry,
absolutely.
I am. In
No,
like
you're
three
good, you're
places
good,
at
I
once.
need to do it.
Thank you, Halfling Luck.
Oh, 10 doesn't get us anything.
All right, so it is the 11th. Let us continue.
It's
I
up to you,
propose that
Tefra.
we don't.
It's up to you, Tefra.
I was gonna say, I propose that we don't bust the boat out yet.
Yeah, I was in agreement. I think we should hug the shoreline here.
Mhm.
One, two, a 3. We're not
three.
leaving the map.
I will
That is-
I will show you a bit what it's like on the other side if you would like.
I can't wait for it to be a hellscape of volcanoes.
Mhm.
It's just gonna be all volcanoes all the time.
Who doesn't love a good volcano?
I don't need to post a picture. It's all grassland is adjacent there. So you're good to continue.
Mhm. All right. South
All right.
1, South 2.
There's also
Oh, sorry.
hills to the bottom right of you.
1, 2, 3. That first one was a. This is day 2. This is
You
the
have
last day
one
of
more
day
point.
2.
Yes.
And then. Uno, dos, tres.
Go back one.
Oh shit.
As you continue forward, you end up stumbling upon a very interesting location. You
Okay.
see as there are fields of just these beautifully white flowers that have just decided to sprout up in this little valley in between a hill and this river, such that it's almost irrigated, and it's got these just absolutely beautifully stark white vines that have tiny bits of thorns that are a little bit red, but for the most part, it's pale white. And this grows more common as you begin to move into the bottom left tile.
I would be cautious of any unknown foliage.
As would I. We don't know what's poisonous and what's not.
As
Speaking
you
of not,
continue into it.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
That jungle-looking area to our top left.
Hold on. You have not gotten there yet, but you can talk about this in a moment. As you continue forward, eventually, Golden's character friend, as he leads the way, ends up starting to have one of the vines move as it begins to slowly reach around him, and he quickly backs up out of it. The amount of vines is pretty much beginning to be the only vegetation in the area, with even some of the grass struggling to show through. It stands to reason that until something else is discovered, this sort of area will be exceptionally difficult to traverse through.
Okay.
Hmm.
Do we want a boat?
No guarantee that the boat would help. Let's
Does it-
ask our friends if they know how much farther south we need to go, or if we need to change directions.
It's still far south.
Hmm. Good thing we bought that many rations then.
Yeah.
Well, we just continue straight south then, and back into the grasslands.
All right.
Just avoiding these strange blooms.
So you would spend 1 point of moving into the hills, then
Yeah.
1 from the next day to 3.
Mhm.
So this is the end of day 4.
Yes.
Uh,
And that is the Misty Mountain right beneath us.
Mhm.
All
It
right.
is, for you at least, Tefford, with someone who's got a decent understanding of general geology. It is a little weird to have a mountain that is generally on its own, but this one does rise out a far bit more than most of its surroundings, even with the hills.
I'm gonna point it, say "Curse you, Bale," and then that was for me. That was for me specifically. But
No, I get it.
thank you. It's this might be an interesting thing to stop by on our way back. We're not far from where it might be, but we're not necessarily close either. This might be something interesting to check out. There might be some cool stuff up there.
If we have the time to spare, I
If
see
we
no
have-
reason not to.
Yes, 1,
That's in day 5.
2. Mhm.
Then farther yet.
There was only 2. We can move to here, and then we can move into the plains to the south. Okay,
No, that was 3.
that was 3 to here. Yes, it was. You're right.
Here's 1. Yeah.
Yep, and then 1, 2, 3. All right.
That's the end of day 6.
Congratulations, everyone. We're now roughly in the area.
They begin to be able
What do
to
you mean
help
by this?
track the way.
Mm-hmm.
It is mostly to the south and 1 tile west.
All right. So this is day 6. 1,
Day 7.
day 7. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 1, 2.
West,
3.
not east, to note.
I am so smart. I made a
That was
mistake.
1.
We're gonna have to spend a day going back. Yeah. Oh, okay.
I ask the jury to forget what they have seen. This is
Mhm.
not admissible evidence.
No worries. No worries. So down
Alright.
left then?
Fortunately for you,
And
I'm
then-
a little tired in space, so I don't remember it at all.
Are
And
there
then that would
actually
be-
nanners on these trees, or is that just
No.
to indicate that? Aw.
It-
Yeah,
it's
let's just indicate jungle.
Jungle is 2 movement.
Yep.
All right. 1, 2.
That's in day 7.
Yeah. 1,
They
2.
begin
and
to
then we
be
can-
very excited as they are very close to home.
All right.
And boat the rest of the way?
Boat the rest of the way, I think. Hey,
Well-
can you ask your friends if there are things on a river?
They are very close to home. In fact, they are 1 day away.
Oh, okay.
They are in the tile to your south.
Do we want a boat there?
No need to risk it.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Huh.
And then that's day 9.
Mm-hmm. Just before the end of the day, one of them leaves to go slightly ahead to attempt to let everyone else know what is happening. As you begin to head out on day 10, traveling a little bit within the tile, you get to an area where one of them ends up communicating to Hiraway, who stayed behind. You need to hold your, and this is through the translation, breath for just a small time. And then dives
small?
into a small puddle and swims.
Of course.
This
We will
may
need to
be.
hold our breath going down. I don't suppose anybody knows how to cast water breathing.
I'm gonna look at Kyle.
No.
Well, this might be a problem then.
Indeed. Especially given the 5.
What I will do is cast Alter Self. A few words in Primordial, and a flick of my wrist and gills form on my neck. I don't know what the rest of you are going to do.
But I have to. Can you help me bundle some of these supplies up in a tarp before we go down?
Oh,
At
of
least
course.
try to waterproof them a little bit.
Rat gets a couple of things out, looks at the gills, scratches his chin, and kind of fastens himself a very basic, crude rebreather in parentheses. He's also quote unquote casting Alter Self. He's got a crude rebreather across his maw.
This is very cool. I like this.
Remind me, what are the rules for holding breath? Is it a number of minutes equal to your con modifier?
I believe that is the standard ruling. Yes.
Okay. Is there
Mhm.
anything different being done here, or is that
Not yet.
okay?
I thought
Good
it
to
was
know.
1 plus con mod.
I thought it was
For
just
minutes,
minimum
number of minutes
1.
equal to 1 plus its constitution
Okay.
modifier, minimum
One
of
for
Yeah,
30
so I've got
seconds.
3 minutes.
Okay. I've got 2 minutes then.
You are a wizard.
You
Yeah.
are a wizard. Your heart. The party ends up taking the necessary precautions to figure out how to begin transporting most of the supplies down. We'll abstract away a bit of the care for the mules and such. And the party ends up making their way to Foileo. It takes about 45 to 50 seconds of swimming under the water when you follow one of them to find your way through a quick few left turn, right turn, and then pulling up into a small pocket of air, which they then crawl out of as they enter the last settlement that they know of.
Question.
Yes.
Am I too heavy to swim correctly? No? Okay.
No, you are not. You have good strength.
Rat is holding onto somebody else.
I mean,
If you did not put effort into swimming, you would sink, yes. But you can swim easily with your strength.
okay.
You do not have as much natural buoyancy as others.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yes. Everyone else would naturally float, you would naturally sink, but it is not by much.
Oh boy, the trauma dice.
Yeah. He's trying to hide it, but you can tell there is a conflicted expression on Kaio's face. He's swimming, and you see like a brief smile, and then a severe frown, and then he just kind of keeps that expression for a little while swimming, and then shakes his head, and it's just neutral after that. Should we?
As you surface out of the hole, a bunch of these small lizards are here to greet you, along with some that are slightly less small. And of note, a few of them are playing instruments. It is generally, you can't quite call it a holiday because you kind of just had one, but they are in celebration of you having arrived. A lot of them are communicating in their tongues that you are not able to discern, and Hiroi, I believe, is focusing on something else currently, right? Probably the fencer is bringing it in.
That's the problem. Tensors can't go above, can't do elevation of more than 10 feet, so that would have been a struggle getting it down here.
You can have it stowed just slightly outside of it, like
Okay.
a little bit under the water. Either way, they are clearly overjoyed and moving around in celebration to have you here, and a few of them go up and begin to form you and, like, you know, attempt to hold your hands and like look at you very closely and try giving you tiny little gifts of pottery and very small jewelry, ending up being just probably about 15 encumbrance of medium good.
Oh shit.
Holy base.
1-5, not 5-0.
Still, holy base.
You're a real dick move to just leave right now, huh?
Listen, I got my gold and a half. I'm out.
Delineous. Not even covering a tenth of the cost of getting down here.
Red is perched on the shoulder, kind of like not sneering down, but like looking down, like suspiciously.
This one, the one that is largest, seems to be most in charge and offers a very deep bow to Kaio since they're the first one to have entered through here.
I think for a moment, I would like to use the action component of this to change from gills to change appearance. Can I make myself look like a skink folk, kind of?
A little bit.
Yeah. I give a little shudder, and my body adopts skink folk appearance, and I give a little dramatic bow before reverting back to Kaio appearance.
His eyes are a little bigger for a moment. His skin begins to ruffle through as the gills transform to scales for a moment, and it ripples along his body as it travels along in a mosaic pattern before shifting back, and all of them are in awe of you.
I kind of look back to the rest of the group. I don't know how to talk to them. Somebody needs to say something.
Zebos runs over and begins clearly, emphatically, like it's swinging its arms around a lot as it talks to the rest of them, and then points at them, you know, says a bunch of words, you know, all that jazz.
Rat pulls
Permission
his-
to cast. Languages. I hear what he's saying that in Draconic.
What?
Listen, he's only got a C in communication for Draconic. Essentially, he's asking to cast Comprehend Languages. Because
Who are you
it's not
asking?
exactly
He
Uh,
shrugs.
the
As long
guy
as
who's
nothing
in
speaks.
charge. The
Yeah,
guy
he
who
doesn't
looks like
speak
he's in charge.
Draconic.
Shit.
Can I try saying something in Primordial?
Doesn't work.
Ah, interesting. Unhelpful.
Unhelpful.
Well, no, that's Kaio speaking in character in common. Ah, interesting. Unhelpful, and then he just kind of shrugs.
He is, however, going to ask the ones who do speak Draconic if it would be alright for him to cast that spell. Since, casting spells in public is typically not very polite.
Yeah.
And if the priest can also cast similar spells, that would be greatly appreciated. He's going to cast this normally.
Oh, like without the ritual component?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that we're not here for 10 minutes just getting a conversation
Staring at each other.
barely started.
This is understandable.
Rat does pull off his rebreather and wear it kind of around his neck as he's scuttles off of the shoulders and is kind of and I'm stuck.
Thank you, Kyle. Big fat Kyle.
Kind of just scuttles around.
You know what? I'm gonna click on Rat and bring him to front of priority. As
Yeah,
he should
probably
be.
wise, considering he is the smallest one and likely to get stuck behind things.
Yeah. So now that
As
I
you
have-
are able to understand the basic words, you're able to hear as they're all basically calling you heroes and savers and all of those sorts of things. And of the ones that are less expecting of, one of the things that you expected less than the idolation, given that you can kind of put that part together given their general attitude towards you, is that they're calling you the Sky Chasers.
and that part I remembered from the guys who brought us here.
Is that
But
to do?
like that's
are
a
you translating?
very, very big part of it. That is a
Are you-
very big thing for them. One of the like more middling ones brings over a small child to Kaio and sort of like leans down in front of them and holds it up to Kaio.
Oh. I have my staff in the one hand, so I just kind of reach out with my other hand and hold it best I can with one arm, like, you know, close to my chest. I don't want them to fall or anything. Just kind of like, He looks uncomfortable, but he's actually pretty good at it.
This is joyous.
Can your
The
priest cast a similar spell?
Does not seem so.
This makes things difficult.
Mazok still does know a small amount of Draconic and therefore, you know, can interpret a slight bit for you.
I asked this, but I wasn't sure if it was heard. Is Hiroe translating for the rest of the party as you interact with them, or is it not quite it?
He's
Kaiwa,
going to basically
sorry.
tell the party they're calling us heroes, and that word again, Sky Chasers.
We kept some of that metal, right?
Right. Well, more than some of it.
Okay. I look to Rat. I know that he wouldn't let anyone else have it. I'm sure he has it.
It's on the mules. He can't
Is it?
carry
It's
that
a-
much. He
Oh
can't
my
carry 180 encumbrance.
I thought you would have kept, like, a shard or two.
Shit.
I forgot what a tiny little boy you are. Dang.
He cannot carry
Jack or shit.
Jack or shit.
Neither Jack nor shit. Okay. Interesting stuff. Do you think that has something to do with the crater that we visited? I don't.
Too far.
Mazok begins attempting to communicate to Oktok and set up a few baseline words to begin describing what little they know about Draconic to attempt to help ease their communication of the situation.
Thank you so much for your services.
They say in a stuttered comment again, yes, very, thank you.
Rat kind of just chortles a little bit.
They're as bad at it as
And in Draconic says,
they're as bad at it as you are.
Wow.
just looking at Hiroe.
I am just going to kind of gingerly return this child to its parent, or whomever it is that handed it to me, because I don't know how they're related.
They grab it and just sort of twirl around with the child, like it in runoff.
He contemplates for a moment making a joke, and then doesn't, and just kind of pokes Hiroe with his staff and says, "You've got to show me how to cast. This is so handy."
Two of them are twirling around the feet of Tefred while another one runs up and is just staring up at Friend with its mouth slightly agape.
He kneels down and slowly goes in to pet it.
It has a very wide smile on its face. It
I am
eventually curls up around your foot and begins resting.
I'm
Hold on,
playing.
there is a 7th entry in the player list here.
That's the stream.
Oh,
Yep.
damn.
Womp womp.
I was
Yeah, it turns out we're having a new player. They're one of these skink folk.
based? Actually based?
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I love these. I would love that. Yeah, I'm gonna poke Hiroe again and say, "So they gave us something. Ask, what do they want with Sky Chasers? What is all of that about? They seem to really
Also-
care about it."
Before we do that, Tefred, you were gonna do something?
Oh no, I'm playing with the kids.
Aww.
Yeah, they are very happy.
How large are like the size range of it?
That's a good question,
Like
actually.
of them.
So these ones are probably the ones that are shown as being, like, you know, the full tile size are probably only slightly larger than Tefred. most of them are rat size or slightly smaller than rat size.
God, rat's
Oh
big
my
here.
god.
Yeah, they're probably like 1.5 feet, maybe.
hmm Not by a whole huge margin, but rat is big here.
Yeah, rat seems
Rat
a
gets
lot
to be
bigger
big.
as well because rat also has the tail, and their tails are
Mhm.
much
Oh,
smaller.
yeah. Rat's tail, like added to his height, if he was like standing on his tail, would probably be closer to 4.5 feet.
Probably reaches up to the base of his horns if he stuck it up.
Even past. Very long.
Bro
With
is
much-
tail maxing.
With much of the basics of understanding being able to get through, a few others begin bringing out food and treats and snacks and gifts and more of those sorts of things, and you start to pieces. The large one is clearly the one in charge, the one that you had been referred to as Oztok. Oxtok, excuse me. And just generally addressing everyone else, just praising. They are the sky chasers, the ones who follow the sky and tell the hunt to free us from the pale storm.
Throughout the process, Rat has flagged down some of the food that is being brought out and is kind of sitting on the ground on his curled up tail, munching and occasionally correcting some of the words, since it's a bad Draconic speaker to a bad Draconic speaker, and back and forth.
Hey, I'm good at comprehending.
Yeah, but you're not good at speaking though, so you might
Yeah,
not be
fair.
able to communicate what you're trying to say.
Ooh, so we actually
That's
do
fine.
have a four-way going on. Hiroi understands Oztok, Oztok understands Mazok, Mazok understands Nak, and Nak understands Hiroi. It's so true. As you
Yeah.
do, eventually most of the ones that are leaving and re-entering are bringing out food exclusively to you, Rat. It seems a little weird to those of you who would choose to be observant that they are using so much food, because many of them are seeming to be a fair bit more emaciated than the ones who joined you on your journey.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that they had been rationing food before this day.
As bad as I feel about it, Rat is not paying attention to that.
This is good. We are sorry we only have learned of this. Speak shortly. Another one like, and points at Kyle, traveled once before and learned only small words before they too left.
I'm sorry, I heard points to Kaio and then everything after that, but what about what did they
that
travel?
was to BBQ. They
Oh,
were just
sorry.
saying that they saw someone else who was a little bit like you
Ah,
and learned a bit from.
So, how can we help? We learned about the. He's going to give the descriptor for the skeletons. And he's going to give the descriptor for the fucking other things. But what can we do to help?
To the. And I try to come up with a better word since they say it once and it doesn't go through communication until eventually they end up determining a way to actually communicate Northwest. There is a structure, a place where many of the Pale Storm surround. If the Pale Storm no longer flee, the Sky Shifters will no longer strike them and no longer hurt us.
And where are these sky shifters?
Across the great river to the south.
Interesting.
They fly here only rarely.
And even those rare flights have caused such devastation?
They can tremble the ground from the sky like a... They eventually end up being able to describe the earthquake. And they just point to the ceiling. We are lucky that none have attempted to cross here. They shake the ground and sink the pale stormers, the returners, to the ground. We are lucky
do they-
to not have the same.
What do they look like? Do they have wings with feathers? Wings like a bat?
They are feathered and winged, and they are great lions, but also serpents of the sky. They twist and turn. They sometimes have scales like us, and sometimes not. They have wings with hands that they send the, and now knowing even if they'll comprehend languages does not translate it, you're able to identify it as the word for earthquake using the previous statements. To send earthquakes to the ground. Which, putting all that together, you can tell that they can cast spells as well.
So, they're shapeshifters with feathered wings who look like serpents and have the ability to cast spells.
That is right, and if you choose to, like, even if the players know, I don't believe any of their characters would know.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But yes, that is an accurate assessment of it.
If they are truly that powerful, they may have some knowledge of recent events. What would the rest of you say to seeking these sky shifters out? Not necessarily to fight. After all, if they can cause earthquakes, that might well be suicide.
Mazok is very timid in attempting to explain that idea to Oxstock. But they do so anyway, and it is clear that they are absolutely scared shitless of the sky shifters.
Well, if we get rid of the skeletons, we may be able to curry some favor with the sky shifters.
We once asked them for help many years ago against the Thai. The comprehend languages for that, like, makes it very clear that Thai is a proper noun. When they would take from our young and return them to their home, we asked for help and they chose to say it was not their place. They do not seem kind to us.
What are the Thai?
They, have
Or were.
a bit of disdain in their voice. It's able to pick up. Though we share our words with the Western tie, we could not be further from them. They are cruel and cold and love only the river and its strength. They would strike us for fun and steal young fresh slaves, but this was many years ago. If only the old like I still remember. They look around, well, somewhat like us, but larger and stronger.
Is it possible that we might know what they're talking about, but in a different word?
Yeah, you can put together descriptions that they're probably talking about lizard folk.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Now that
Well, I'm speaking in common, which means most of the people gathered here, except for our party, will not know what I am saying. Well, given the choice between Bones, whatever a sky shifter is, and Ty, I feel safest dealing with the Bones.
Indeed.
They don't look like they really have much to offer in return, but
that's alright.
networking.
We can potentially get useful information from the Sky Shifters if we can gain an audience or something similar.
Kaya will just kind of laugh. Given what they just said, I'm not sure that they'd be interested in entertaining a conversation with us. They certainly didn't seem to care what... and he gestures to the skink folk. They certainly didn't seem to care about what they had to say.
There's a key difference, though. They were asking for help. We are providing a service by defeating an enemy of theirs.
Rat kind of shrugs.
Our snivelly bitch pacifist. Not want help much either, but give, so help.
Who is a snivelly bitch pacifist?
He's gesturing towards all of the
Oh.
snake folk around him.
Mm-hmm. Kaio kind of laughs and nods.
Was that in common?
Yes.
This is
Hence
good.
his broken speech.
What does Tefred have to say about this? What does Friend have to say about this?
I'm all for helping them however we can, honestly. But the skeletons do sound the most manageable.
That is also the only thing that they are asking you to do.
Mhm.
Only, he
shrugs.
says.
If place speak like old place find, that find
He's struggling to find the word for a second.
helmet find, then skeleton stop no, bones up up up, break bones, more bones up.
I see what you're saying. We can then also cash in on the bounty.
Oh.
He kind of puts his hands on his face.
No,
He kind of just like gestures in general, and then swaps to Draconic. I can't communicate with you in common easily. Goodness gracious, you are so stupid. As he's talking to Hiroe.
what I'm meaning to say is if the location is anything like the last one we went to,
Hmm.
do you remember the nature of it?
It was a necropolis.
Do you remember the dangers of it?
Yes, that's why we didn't delve deeper.
And do you remember what happens when we don't delve deeper and solve the underlying issue?
It festers.
And what does festering cause?
Causes more skeletons,
Which means
more money. I know
No.
this.
It means their problem isn't solved.
Ah, right.
Your priorities are crazy.
Obviously, it's more money. Obviously, that's good for us.
Right, I know. But we are also a good deal more powerful than the last time we encountered Necropolis. And we have a much closer base of operations to return to if necessary, so that we can recuperate and strike out again.
He kind of shrugs and swaps back to common.
If want die kill in Necrocopips, then welcome to. We'll join down, but if problem, we'll leave.
Right, I wouldn't expect any more.
And he's going to look you dead in the eyes.
Not help you, if stuck.
Right,
Understand?
yes.
He nods a couple of times.
Right, so we stay here for the night. We strike out on the 11th. We scout out the necropolis. And then we do what we can to cleanse it.
Mizok speaks up a bit, then is yes.
Yes.
They turn with a big smile to Oxstock and relay this to them, which is very joyous. They give you a tiny bit of details about what they know about it. It is a structure that is in the side of a mountain with what is described as large emptiness around it. They have had 2 people go in to scout it. One of them returned. There is a area nearby that they can show you where you can enter through a cave, through an underwater section. Or there is a large door that none of them could open.
How big is the underwater section?
One of them goes over and has to actually get another one in on the conversation, which unfortunately means tearing them away from Tafred.
No.
And they end up communicating for a bit. It would be fine. It might be small for... And then they point to Friend of Mithril. With time, he could, yes, go through.
How long would it take for the rest of us?
Should not be difficult time.
Okay. Can we leave some of our supplies here while we handle the skeletons?
Very respectfully. And they begin to walk past you and look back at you.
I assume they're having us follow?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
They make their way up into this. It's honestly surprisingly humble for how, you might have expected a priest to handle it. And over here, there is a door that is locked, which they open. Inside, you see some of the last reserves of the food that they had stored up, at least from... given that a lot of it's the same sorts of food that they had just recently brought out. And they allow you to place it in there before they lock the door behind it.
Thank you. Yeah, so I imagine we're also potentially leaving some of the stuff like the Starfall in here as well, or
That's up to y'all.
Probably. It's probably good. And like the goods,
Mhm.
like all of the weight that we tend to carry with us as a result of it kind of being loot, but we don't need on a dime.
I propose that we still keep like a bastion turn's worth of food on us,
Food,
though.
yeah. I would agree.
Oh yeah, for sure. That would be very unwise to leave without that.
Also, is it the 9th or the 10th?
It is currently the 10th, as I recall.
Okay, yeah, so you do only need to spend one night.
In which case,
You would be treated at, I believe, high quality. Perhaps
Oh, shit.
moderate
Interesting.
quality.
so how do I mark this as like stored in a separate area so that it's not eating into our encumbrance? command?
You can just toss some of the stuff on the Tensor's disk. We can use that as storage in the Skink City.
I guess so. Yeah.
What I
since it's
do
probably gonna stay
have,
here.
what the main thing isn't for other ones is that, like, you see how there's that one tag party storage, the Shining City?
Mhm.
Yeah. That one is an unlimited storage. I can just duplicate. Party storage.
The Skinking City.
No.
Alright, I have.
And again, with not being able to upload images, bitter. So goes it.
Well, I suppose that handles one concern we had. If I may, I'd like to, while they're distracted doing that, kind of sneak down this hallway and see what's going on over here.
Sure. This is a small area with, I guess the best description would probably be a barracks. It's a
Oh.
variety of different housing and bedding and those sorts of things.
Hmm.
It seems to be,
Nothing
given the type of materials spread about, probably for the ones who did not originally live here before these disasters started amplifying.
Oh, that makes sense. This doesn't seem like where they're originally from then. This is sort of a refugee camp in a way.
This
Hmm.
the general vibe from the various different things is that this was a settlement previously. It was
Mhm.
not built for this many people. It does not have supplies for this many people,
Mm.
but this many people have fled here. And so it has a lot of refugees from basically everything else that they know of falling apart.
No, it makes sense. If you've got sky shifters in this, well, on the surface, you've got to find somewhere to
Mhm.
hide.
Kyle, if I might have a moment.
Oh, of course. What seems to be the issue?
Not an issue so much. The reason I'm so insistent on wanting to seek audience with the Sky Shifters. Given the description, they seem to be unusually powerful creatures. Their ability to change shape, their ability to cast magic, they are not normal beasts.
Certainly not.
The two possibilities I can see are that, one, they are some form of outsider, as would be evidenced by their described vendetta against the undead, or they are some form of dragon. I will not speak to whether that is possible or not, but assuming they are some form of outsider, they could provide some valuable insight into how the spell plague has affected other planes, if they're trapped here or something similar.
Oh, you think that might be why they're causing such a disturbance? They've been trapped here the whole time?
I won't speculate as to that, but if they are some form of outsider, they may be able to give us answers that we could then leverage to potentially get something done back at the city.
You know, they say information is just as good as gold sometimes. and I think
Indeed.
something like this would be quite valuable indeed.
That's why I thought it prudent to take this job, even though they said they couldn't pay us much.
No, you're looking at the big picture in the long term, and I have to say, I like the way you're thinking.
Thank you. After all, the entire purpose of the city's foundation was to research the spell plague. We've been handed an opportunity to do just that on a silver platter.
My only concern, and it's really just a minor one, what if they see us
What if
and
they're
eradicate
hostile?
us? Yep, He kind of like starts nodding as you interrupt him. Yep, I really do think that's a distinct possibility. If they're outsiders,
is.
they hate undead. Do we know how they feel about people? They didn't seem to care enough to help them, so I wouldn't call them benevolent. But they haven't eradicated them on purpose, so
Indeed.
maybe they're just...
Yeah. They're not ambivalent, but they are apathetic. That's what you've picked up.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. We're not going to hurt you on purpose, but also if me existing kills you, get over it. Which is worse, but whatever, it's not my problem. No, I'd be very willing to speak with them. I think that we could learn quite a bit. I'm just wondering, maybe we want something.
If it's safe.
Well, I'm
That's
sure it's
why-
not, but no, I mean a gift or something that we could give them to show respect or placation. I mean, outsiders, that's... Don't they like that? I suppose it depends.
It depends on the type of
young of skink folk could give Defred.
Ah,
What was that? Sorry, I've got this little guy in my lap. What's going on?
He doesn't repeat it.
nothing?
Okay.
Switching to Goblin. Okay, so if we do want to consider that option, what do we do if they say yes?
He switches to Goblin.
Defred give.
He's even rougher.
I don't think it should come to that. If anything, Hero A is also in Goblin. If anything, the head of a skeleton lord on a pike should do just as well.
Well, maybe we try the one and then... I don't know, did anyone translate Rat's concerns about, festering and skeletons and all of this? That was all in Draconic, right?
That
Rat
was
was-
all in Draconic.
Yeah, so Kaio has no idea. Well, we know they don't like skeletons, something about a pale storm, that's poetic.
Indeed.
Might as well try it, see what happens. I mean, the worst that happens is we've got something we can return to the city.
Multiple somethings, given that they're described as a storm.
I don't like the way you're saying that, but I do understand your thought.
Regardless, we should prepare our best countermeasures against crowds. I was going to say spells, but not all of us are casters. And switching back to common. Alright, with that, I believe we are prepared to head out on the morrow.
Right. Very good.
We have skeletons to hunt.
My question
And-
is simple. Would you like to stop before the next Bastion turn begins, or would you like to get there since it is nearby?
We're on 9, aren't we?
This is the night of the 10th. I guess like midday 10.
It takes them 2 days to get there.
I would like to.
Let's finish up here.
Okay.
Go ahead and finish out the day, whatever other stuff the party wants to talk about to make their plans. But we will be ending on technically on the 11th. And you can all also take a long rest if you would like.
Thank you.
Holy base.
Oh. So the nice thing about being, one level of cleric is I can switch my spells around.
Imagine
Why would I
having a
want to? I
spell
love my
list.
spells. My spells are great.
Imagine having a learned spell list and not just knowing every spell on your list.
Real. Actually, wait. Shit.
Yeah, get shit on.
Do
Hey,
friend
listen, I'm kind of both.
do friend or
Ingenuity.
Tefford have any other concerns they would like to voice about a plan?
I don't think so.
Not even the part where we give you to the sky shifters.
Didn't you not share that part with me?
No, we did not.
And he doesn't have an issue with it, does he?
Your friends start speaking in a language you don't know and looking at you and making conversation.
Yeah.
It's fine. I have, children to attend.
Rat walks over to. Wait, where is Tefred?
Top right.
I haven't moved. Yeah.
I see. Rat moves over to Tefred, puts his hand on his. I guess, if he's sitting down, then he can reach his shoulder. Puts his hand on his shoulder, and says,
Sorry, might need to eat you.
What?
and then walks away without explaining.
I don't think that's wise. My name's Tefrid, not Tastefrid. I'm not very good tasting.
Think news take well.
Rat, I don't like this plan. Rat.
It's clear that while the quality might not be the best, the service in which they provide it is exceptional. You are absolutely being exalted by them.
I worry that this kind of service might accelerate their downfall.
All the more reason we have to succeed, isn't it?
Rat shrugs.
Friends?
Sorry, what you say? I think my mic didn't pick it up.
Oh, rip.
Gotcha. Is there anything else you would like to add before the session comes to a close?
Do we have any idea what the sky shifters actually are?
Out of character or in character?
Out of character.
Out of character, they're like 110% coatls.
I was gonna say the same thing. That's definitely what they
Yeah,
are.
Waddles.
I'm gonna be real. I thought that they were koalas the second they started explaining them way
Yeah.
north.
When you say
But
scales and feathers, that's
Like, there's very little
Uh-huh.
that can be that.
not to
Like,
mention, we're in the Wilderlands.
Coatls
Where
are
did he-
established to be here in the Wilderlands as of
Where
campaign one.
did our best boy go to fight the koalas with his fam?
Yeah. This is imported knowledge, but like,
It's technically
These are fucking
metagaming,
koalas.
but it's okay because
I'm
it's
not-
out of
I mean-
character.
It's technically metagaming,
Right.
but it has no
It
point
makes me
because
happy.
I have
It's-
no clue how to deal with koalas.
It's the right way to do
I.
it. Go ahead.
Neither do I.
It's the right way to do it because it makes me feel happy because it means you guys are appreciating the lore. And this is
Yes.
good. But
Portals
you
are
guys can
also, like-
explain the lore from the previous thing immediately after we shut off the stream. So,
Mhm.
oh.
Mhm.
does anyone else have anything else they'd like to say before we say goodnight for the week?
Bye bye.
I'd like to say super glad to be back. It was about a month off, so really missed this. Looking
Yes.
forward to seeing what comes next.
Joyous.
Murder.
We will
Oh,
probably be having a session next week at the same time on Thursday, and we might be having a session the next week on either that Thursday or Wednesday, but we might not. It won't be too unfortunate if we don't, but we should be able to be back in the thick of things, and I look forward to seeing all of you next week.
Woo!
Farewell.
Many more session role plays. Yes, yes.
Yes, yes, DM thing. Give many story lore.
Much more story lore.
Give more tactic fight combat. And one
Skaven
loot
maxing
drop
would
thing.
absolutely be a word that actually no, they would say rat maxing. Skaven would absolutely say rat maxing.
Rat like other rat? Dun dun.